Hello and good afternoon, everyone. We get set for the season finale of OAC football, the Ohio Athletic Conference, and today will be the season finale for both Marietta Pioneers and the Capital Crusaders as each team tries to end the 2015 season on a high note. Hello again, everyone. I'm Charlie Danis. I'm joined on the broadcast booth by my broadcast partner, Jimmy Bloomfield. This is the Crusaders game show as we get set to take you up to the 1:30 kickoff between the Pioneers and the Crusaders. Both of these teams come into their respective season finale with 2-7 overall records and 2-6 marks within the OAC. Needless to say, it's been really tough seasons for both of these squads. Before we get today's matchup between the Pioneers and the Crusaders, Jimmy, let's first take a broader look at how Capital Athletics have been going this fall season, and let's start the soccer squads.
Yeah, we've had quite a fun week here at Burnmore Stadium last week. It was good news for the women's side, not so much for the men's side. Let's start with the men. They played their semifinal. They got to host this year of Coach Yost in the semis, and unfortunately came up short in that game. They played John Carroll, one of the better teams in the conference, obviously playing them in the playoffs, and it was a very even game at the beginning. John Carroll then got a goal. Capital answered it. John Carroll scored. Capital got a goal with 5 minutes left from A.G. Basiakos. Stadium was popping. It was awesome. And then 20 seconds later, John Carroll came down off a throw-in and kicked in their goal. In the final 5 minutes, won that game 3-2. So kind of a tough loss, especially for the seniors, being their last game here at Burnmore Stadium. But fortunately for the women, they were able to rebound and win the OAC tournament for the third straight season. They won in overtime in their semifinal match, and then in the final against Ohio Northern, they were trailing with 3 minutes left to go. Monique Hanaik tied the game unassisted with a goal at the 88th minute. They went to the shootout, and Claire Quinn made a goal, Becca Cartmill made one, Hanaik made one, and then Mara Fatino made a clincher that gave them their three-peat. So they are on the road today. They're at the regional hosted by Center College. They're going to face off with, I believe it was Hanover. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
yep.
so they'll play
Indiana. Yep.
They'll play Hanover tonight. They actually got a pretty good draw, I think, looking at the bracket. They got a pretty good chance of getting out of that regional. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, they hook up with Central if they win today.
The women's soccer team, Jimmy, they've had a really cool season. From my perspective, it's really neat that they've been able to have a successful season with a first-year head coach.
Yeah, Coach Matt Ogden was actually the OAC Coach of the Year, went through and was the first coach to go perfect through the OAC regular season. Obviously went perfect through the tournament as well, so he's yet to lose to an OAC opponent. Very good first year for him. We want to recognize some of the players as well. The OAC awards came out. As far as the All-OAC teams on the men's side, Jacob Pulliam, a midfielder, was the first team. A.G. Basiakos, a defender, was second team, as well as a forward, Calvin Saunders. And they had four players that were honorable mentions, Chewy Gordon, Josh McDaniel, Mario Suarez, and Justin Neiswanger. On the women's side, Mariah Richards was actually named the Defensive Player of the Year and was first team, as well as Becca Cartmill and Mara Fortino. Mary Bushy, Monique Hanaik, Claire Quinn, and Kim Leach were all second team, and Chloe Brown made it as an honorable mention as well. So lots of success, lots of names there, and obviously both programs are headed in the right direction. It's good to see there.
Good to see that both the soccer programs for Capital had good years, and we go from teams that are nearing the end of their seasons to teams that are now just starting their season. Believe it or not, partner, basketball is right around the corner. Women's basketball, they opened with a pretty impressive win last night.
Yeah, the women's and the men's teams are both going to be getting going here soon, and they're going to be pretty busy. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of home games until about New Year. We're going to have a nice little, that women's holiday tournament will be back right before the end of the new year. So or the end of this year, start of the new year, I should say. So that'll be fun, but they're going to be pretty busy themselves on the road. I believe this tournament, they're in Harrisonburg, Virginia right now. They played against Bridgewater in their opener, and it was a really good game. Remember, they switched to quarters, so they actually had a quick start in the first quarter, jumped out to a 20-11 lead, outscored Bridgewater in the second quarter 14-3, allowing just 3 points in that second quarter. It was a big game for a couple of players. Kristen Thompson looked good, 14 points, 15 rebounds. Simone Gage had 10 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 16 points. Nina Napolitano. Irwin also had 12 points in there. So a lot of familiar faces that we're going to see on the women's side. Obviously, Shelby Sheet will be gone, but the same core from last year is going to be back. There's a couple new freshmen that are going to get some minutes and maybe be intriguing. And it looks like it's going to be a good year for women, a good start last night.
On the other side, Jimmy, a lot of uncertainty on the men's side. First of all, we want to send our best regards to Capital head coach Damon Goodwin, who had to take a leave of absence this year to attend to a personal illness. We hope that he makes a speedy recovery and we see him back on the Capital sidelines next season. In the meantime, an interim coach, Andy Winters, takes over on an interim basis for Capital, and also a lot of new faces on the court as well, Jimmy. In fact, 9 freshmen are on Capital's roster alone. The team is going to be intriguing from a talent standpoint, but you have to expect that at some point, it's going to take a lot of lumps in a tough OAC conference.
Yeah, obviously we wish Coach Goodwin the best, and it's going to be sad not seeing him out there. But the team knows they have business to attend to. Coach Winters seems like he's got everything going in the right direction himself, and see what he can bring to the table. As far as the team itself, it's going to be interesting, like you said. A.J. Dixon will be back, and I expect him to kind of be the guy that sets the tone for everybody else. And big questions, I think, in the post game. That's going to be where the real question marks lie, and see if any of these freshmen can really step up down there. Losing Bolka and Danhoff is a really big loss for them in that post area, but they've got shooters. Tyrell Jackson's back. They've got A.J. Dixon. So they've got some guard play that can really contend with some of the other teams in the OAC. It's just going to be an answer of how much their depth is. You said 9 freshmen. Those guys are going to be playing some big-time minutes. See if they can really step up to the challenge here. And they have their opener against Wittenberg, a really tough opening game for them. That's going to be in the NCAC OAC crossover over at the Reich Center in Westerville. That one's going to be at 5 o'clock, so you can keep your eye on that one later today for the live stats of that game.
We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll start delving into this football matchup between Marietta and Capital. This is your home for Crusaders football, the Capital Sports Network.
College coaches work hard to beat their opponents, but now they're all on the same team to defeat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called Coach to Cure MD, and you can help. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next phone bill, or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE, 90999, and help coaches cure MD.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Hello everybody, I'm Keith Jackson. For 50 years, I've witnessed some of the greatest contests in college football. Young men in competition reaching their potential at the highest level. But their courage is more than matched by another group of men. The boys fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It is the most prolific genetic killer diagnosed in childhood. And there is no cure. But college football coaches are doing something about it. And you can help. It's called Coach to Cure MD. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill. Or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 today. And help the college football coaches cure MD. You'll be proud you joined the team.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Welcome back to the Crusaders pregame shows. We get set for tonight's gridiron matchup between the Marietta Pioneers and the Capital Crusaders. This will be the season finale for both of these squads. Alongside Jimmy Bloomfield, I'm Charlie Danis. Let's now take a look at what's been happening with the Crusaders as of late. And boy, October, no other way to put it, was a rough month for the Crusaders. It started off with a 62-7 loss to Mount Union, followed by a 49-34 defeat at the hands of Otterbein. Crusaders went on the road. They got beat by Ohio Northern 52-31. That was followed by a 48-0 shutout by John Carroll. And then here in the month of November so far, things haven't really improved all that much. Baldwin Wallace beat Capital 56-20. And their game last week, Jimmy, it was a game against Heidelberg. Capital was able to put up 30 points against the Student Princes. But in the end, Heidelberg was able to make a lot of big plays down the field, and it really starts with their young quarterback, Tyler Stoyle. I have a feeling that this is going to be a young man who is going to be putting up a lot of big passes yards in the years to come here in the OAC.
Yeah, obviously another tough loss, but they were in the game. A bad second quarter kind of got away from them. They were outscored 21-3 in that second quarter. They kind of came rallying back, though. They were down by 22 points with 7.5 to go, and Nick Iskey actually threw 2 touchdowns. So it's good to see that the offense could kind of get something going through the air. They rushed for 300 yards again, but Iskey's 2 interceptions. We haven't really seen turnovers be an issue for Capital this year, but they were definitely an issue in that Heidelberg game, and something that they're going to have to work on for this game. You mentioned it, Stowe, though, 19 of 24 for 284 in that game. And they also ran on the ground for 200 yards themselves. Brian Lacey had 180 yards and touchdowns on the ground. Lots of big plays. Again, that's something this defense has been an issue for them the last 2 years, really, giving up big plays. And obviously that's going to be something they're going to have to limit today.
Keep in mind, Tyler Stoyle is only a sophomore. Heidelberg is very lucky to have that young man as their quarterback for the next couple of years. Meanwhile, Capital lucky to have Brent Walton backfield, Jimmy.
22 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Officially became the school record holder for that career rushing yards. He was tied with them when he suffered that injury, so luckily he was able to get out there and not have that kind of linger the entire offseason. Iskey looked good on the ground as well. He had 17 for 69. Nick Waters, 9 for 53, kind of filling in for Heater in that role. Heater with that arm injury was in a sling before. They had some plays in the air too. Jake Skelton had 3 for 50 and a touchdown, and that's one of his better games he's had all season as well. So there is some positives, but again, kind of the big plays, throwing too many points has kind of been the issue. It's really tough. Like you said, Stoyle is just one of many that you can pick out from these teams that have amazing quarterbacks, and it's really tough to go week in, week out and play against a guy that's going to throw for 250 yards on you. Pretty much a guarantee of that week in, week out. And a brutal October schedule for the Crusaders, and they got through it. They were in most of those games. Some of them got away from them, and that's going to happen. But if they can eliminate those kind of quarters where they allow 2 or 3 big plays to come back and back and back and kind of compound on top of each other, that's going to be something that they're going to work on in the offseason and stay in these games for a little bit longer.
Last week, Capital takes on a great quarterback in Tyler Stoyle. This week, they get a quarterback that has struggled this season. Lucas Havens, a 5'11", 180-pound senior, starts at quarterback today for Marietta. Jimmy, looking at his stats, not all that impressive. A completion percentage under 50%, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a little over 1,100 yards through the air. I think in this particular case, Capital kind of gets a break because, as we alluded to earlier in the pregame show, it's been a who's who of great quarterbacks that have gone up against Capital.
Now, I wouldn't really say Havens is a dual-threat guy either. It's not like he's going to set the world on fire running the ball. He does have 400 yards on the ground this season, but that comes out to an average of under 40 yards a game. His passing yards, he's only had 1,156, which comes out to 128 per game. So really, he's not going to set the world on fire at all. And it's going to be a nice little breather for this defense. They can't take it easy, obviously. Lucas Havens last week against Muskingum had one of his better games on the year. He had 8 completions on 14 attempts for 190 and a touchdown, did not throw an interception. And then on the ground, had 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he did show a little bit of that dual threat. He had his best game of the year. The team overall had their best game of the year against Muskingum, winning that game. Defensively, they still got gashed a little bit. Muskingum's quarterback threw for 122 through the air and 3 touchdowns, no picks. They rushed the ball for 226 yards. Muskingum, a very similar offense to Capital, so I think that kind of plays into their favor. Seeing that triple option look last week, you go through another week of practicing it. So you've had 2 weeks of practice going over the whole triple option look, and now you got your second game against it. So I do think that kind of set up nicely for Marietta. But again, the triple option is kind of its own beast. Each teams have their own kind of nuances to triple option offense. So it'll be interesting what kind of wrinkles Capital throws in. I'm sure they went through some of the game film of what Muskingum tried to do against them and try to not give Marietta the same kind of look. At least that's what I would have done as a coaching staff.
We'll take another break as we continue to roll on here on the Crusaders pregame show. You will be listening to Capital Football here on the Capital Sports Network in just a moment.
Beat their opponents, but now they're all on the same team to defeat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called Coach to Cure MD, and you can help. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill. Or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE to 90999 and help coaches cure MD.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. For 50 years, I've witnessed some of the greatest contests in college football. Young men in competition reaching for their potential at the highest level. But their courage is more than matched by another group of young men, the boys fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It is the most prolific genetic killer diagnosed in childhood, and there is no cure. But college football coaches are doing something about it, and you can help. It's called Coach to Cure MD. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill. Or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 today. And help the college football coaches cure MD. You'll be proud you joined the team.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Welcome back to the Crusaders pregame show as we get you set for today's OAC football game between the Marietta Pioneers and the Capital Crusaders. And speaking of the Crusaders, right now down there on the field, it is senior day. The 7 seniors for Capital being honored before today's game. They would be James Estes, Jake Brakey, Wally Brewer, Jake Skelton, Zach Wyrick. Vince Austin is also down there being honored, and also Aaron Viscount. And moments ago, we actually saw a really touching moment. Jake Skelton was escorted onto the field by some family members, but then he turned around and his mother, who lives in Florida, made the trip all the way up here. It was a surprise for Jake. A big hug exchanged by the two of them at midfield. And, you know, Jimmy, that's really what senior day is all about. You get to revel a little bit in what has taken place in your football career, and you get to share the great memories with your family.
Yeah, very cool moment, and obviously each one kind of getting their moment out there honored, and they get a little bio read about themselves, and the Sports Information Department here does a great job of working on those bios for all the sports here, and it's, again, nice little touching moment there to see Jake surprised by his mother there, and kind of those moments, the storybook moments that kind of go viral sometimes. Obviously, this one probably won't, but again, nice touching moment for the Skelton family.
This has been a rather important senior class from the standpoint that these were the players at Capital that had to go from one type of system to another type of system when Craig Candido took over as head coach here at Capital. They served as that transition bridge, so to speak, Jimmy. And it'd be great to see these guys go out with a win today.
Yeah, Marietta has kind of been the light at the end of the tunnel for this schedule. The little death row that they ran through the last couple games out. They always knew they had that Marietta game senior night at the end of the year, a very winnable game. And I'm sure it's encircled. These guys have been waiting to go out there against a team that they can really compete against. I really feel like they have the upper hand against today. I haven't really had a game like that since Muskingum, and which seems like eons ago, really. And I think they're going to be really excited to come out firing here today, especially with it being senior day, especially when it end the season on a good note. And it's going to be a real fun one today, I think.
This game has the potential to be a real shootout. I mean, heck, the last time these two teams met, it was a shootout. That was a game in which Capital ended up beating the Pioneers 56-42. Capital went up 2 touchdowns at the top of the fourth quarter, but the Pioneers, they wouldn't go away. They followed it up with a touchdown pass to make it a 7-point gain, 49-42. But then Zach Sheridan came up clutch. That was really his first significant action under center for the Crusaders. He hit Nick Waters for a 25-yard touchdown pass, which pretty much sealed the deal. And Brett Walnos, who had a nice game against the Pioneers last year, 179 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns on 30 carries. And Jimmy, all you have to do is look at the defensive statistics for both these teams. They're near the bottom of the conference in virtually every single defensive category. You couple that with the fact that it's an absolute beautiful day, which means that nothing should have to limit both the run or the passing game of either team.
Yeah, when you say shootout, I tend to think of teams kind of just throwing the ball for 500 yards each, but it's kind of going to be the opposite today. We're going to see a lot of running. We're going to see a lot of triple option look. Marietta might come out kind of more of a traditional I-form, ground and pound kind of game style for them. It's going to be a lot of points, and that's what the shootout's going to be, but it's going to be a lot of damage on the ground. I think Capital could very easily run for 300, 400, 500 rushing yards today, and Marietta on the other side. Obviously, they've shown the ability to score a lot, too. A lot of teams in the OAC, they score a lot of points. You don't see many 10-7 games here in the OAC. It's a lot of points, a lot of running from both sides, and I think we're going to see a big day from Lucas Havens on the ground, as well as Roger Bush from Marietta. Obviously, Walton's going to have a huge game on the ground. I think Iski's going to get loose a little bit. It's going to be a lot of offense and defense optional. Whichever defense makes more plays could win this game, and it's going to take one or two plays defensively maybe to just kind of get a turnover, give your team a short field, and it's going to be one of those games where you're going to have to match scores each time. There's not going to be a lot of punts today, I don't think, either.
Jimmy, to wrap up the pregame show, what would you say would be the keys to victory today for Capital?
We kind of just got to that a little bit, but again, I think special teams going to be huge today. Again, if there are punts, maybe make a big play on a punt return or something, get some kind of fumble, maybe kickoff return games, giving your team a shorter field to work with is going to be huge. And I really do think the team that comes up with more plays defensively, maybe a big third down stop here at midfield, maybe an interception in the red zone, something like that is going to change momentum. Whichever defense makes more plays, I think wins this game.
We will take one last commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening kickoff between Marietta and Capital. This is your home for Crusaders football, the Capital Sports Network.
For 50 years, I've witnessed some of the greatest contests in college football. Young men in competition reaching for their potential at the highest level. But their courage is more than matched by another group of young men, the boys fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It is the most prolific genetic killer diagnosed in childhood, and there's no cure. But college football coaches are doing something about it, and you can help. It's called Coach to Cure MD. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at CoachToCureMD.org. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 today, and help the college football coaches cure MD. You'll be proud you joined the team.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
It's the perfect.
We're back here at Byrne-Lawrence Stadium, getting set for today's football game between Marietta and Capital. And while we have a moment here, let's go ahead and give you the starting lineup for both teams. First, let's go Capital offensively. The left tackle will be Zach Kennedy. The left guard will be Zach Clapper. The center will be Will Weir. The right guard will be Zach Bennington, and the right tackle will be Jack Harding. The wide receivers will be a couple of seniors, Zach Wyrick and Jake Skelton. Skelton will also moonlight as the tight end today. Andrew Dorman will be his backup at that particular spot. The slot backs will be Wally Brewer and Nick Waters. Also expect to hear the names of Hunter Smith, Jake Brakey today. Brent Walton back there at the B-back position where he belongs, the junior out of Pickerington, having a fantastic year running the football for the Crusaders. And expect to see both Nick Iskey and Zach Sheridan share the quarterback duties. Defensively for Marietta, at defensive end will be Thomas Hinkle. The defensive tackles are Dalton Seacrest and Aaron Johnson. The other defensive end is Nick Thompson. Daryl DeWint is the middle linebacker. His 80 tackles are in the top 10 of the OAC, 7th, I believe. Jeremy Pratt and Joe Ortega are the outside linebackers. The safeties are Taylor Benet and Christian Mayola, and the cornerbacks are Masai McDaniel and Corey Hunsberger. Let's now switch sides. Marietta offensively, left tackle is Trevor Rick. The left guard is A.J. Epley. The center is Anthony J. Lowick. The right guard is Brian Tran. And right tackle is Mitch Bellotta. The wide receivers are Darnell Clem and Clay Moorfield. The running backs are going to be Roger Bush and Nick O'Neill. You'll also see a couple of fullbacks, or will see a couple of fullbacks in Jared Deep and O'Shea Stewart. The tight end is Nick Heineman. And as we mentioned before the pregame show, Lucas Havens is the starting quarterback for Marietta. Defensively for Capital, they run a 4-3 defense. The defensive ends are Brett Annis and Tyler Connor. Aaron Viscount, a senior for this Capital squad. He's a defensive tackle. The neutral guard will be Nick Wright. The middle linebacker is Derek Ebon. The outside linebackers are James Estes and Sean Faccioni. The safeties are going to be Jimmy Curtis, who will be at free safety, and J.R. Garrigo at strong safety. Joe Rodriguez, who started off the year as a safety, is going to be at cornerback, as will Jordan Duncan. Anything that strikes you from those lineups, Jimmy?
That's just kind of what Joe Rodriguez's role has. Last time against John Carroll, he was listed as a safety. We saw him as a safety. We saw him as a corner. Kind of got burned a little bit in that game as well. He got picked on a lot. And he's actually been one of the better players in the secondary. Obviously, we don't have the benefit of watching those games on the road, so I'm kind of interested to see what his role is and kind of what they do to shake up this secondary. They shouldn't have to worry about the pass too much today, and I think that we can see some of the safeties play up a little bit more in the box and maybe get a little bit more involved in run defense as well. I'll kind of be interested in seeing how that works out. And kind of just, again, on the offensive side of the ball, I'm looking at what kind of wrinkles they throw into the triple option today. Again, I kind of said this a couple minutes ago in the pregame, but you're going to have different players, different systems for each triple option look. It's not like you're going to see the kind of traditional same triple option look. Much like you would see a spread have much different nuances from one team to another. You're going to see the same kind of thing with the triple option offense. And Marietta played Muskingum last week, who runs a triple option set as well. So they can't run similar things to Muskingum. They've been working on this triple option in practice now for 2 weeks straight. So it kind of does give their defense a little bit more of awareness of what to expect today, having played Muskingum last week and having a lot of success against Muskingum as well. So I really think Candido, we might see a couple more gadget plays than we usually would see. And I think obviously it's just going to lead to more excitement. So we'll see what they kind of throw in today.
One more commercial break, and then we will finally have kickoff from Byrne Lawrence Stadium. Marietta versus Capital coming up next here on the Capital Sports Network.
It's the perfect sports bar because it's not just a sports bar.
I'm Gary Calico, founder and president of Rusty Bucket. A lot of families build their sports world around the bucket.
It's not just a guy's night out. You can bring your wife, you can bring your kids.
We get a lot of groups in after games.
Great place after the game.
Kids love to come here.
The Rusty Bucket Restaurant and Tavern.
The Rusty Bucket is a proud supporter of the Capital Crusaders. Visit us after the game at 2158 East Main Street and grab life by the bucket.
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. For 50 years, I've witnessed some of the greatest contests in college football. Young men in competition reaching for their potential at the highest level. But their courage is more than matched by another group of young men, the boys fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It is the most prolific genetic killer diagnosed in childhood, and there is no cure. But college football coaches are doing something about it, and you can help. It's called Coach to Cure MD. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill. Or go online at coachacuremd.org. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 today. And help the college football coaches cure MD. You'll be proud you joined the team.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Brugger's Bagels has been bringing authentic New York-style bagels, breakfast foods, coffee, soups, and more to the world since 1983, and they're a location in Bexley ready to get your day started right. Located on 2510 East Main Street, Brugger's is open Monday through Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays from 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Brugger's also can cater your next event and can be reached by phone at 614-236-4000. Brugger's Bagels is proud to support Capital University Athletics.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Byrne Lawrence Stadium. This is a presentation of Capital Football here on the Capital Sports Network alongside Jimmy Bloomfield. I'm Charlie Danis. A beautiful day here in Bexley, Ohio. Temperatures are expected to get up to the mid-50s today. Plenty of sunshine, not even one cloud in the sky overhead. Just an absolutely gorgeous day to play football here in the early month of November, which has been very mild compared to seasons past. Today, Capital takes on Marietta. Both teams with identical 2-7 overall records, identical 2-6 conference marks. Both these teams have had to endure tough seasons here in 2015, but Jimmy, both of them are looking to end their seasons on a high note.
Yep, and both teams, again, as you said, kind of a similar spot. 2-7 overall, 2-6 in the conference, and winner's going to kind of be in that middle group. The loser's going to kind of be in the bottom of the OC. So a lot of them on the lines today in terms of momentum towards next year.
Kick is away, and we are underway here at Bernlohr Stadium. Roger Bush to the 15, to the 20, and he is eventually taken down. Special teams-wise, let's see who made the tackle. Looked like Jeremy Walker stuck his nose in there and brought him down for the play. So the Pioneers will start at their own 20-yard line. Marietta wearing white jerseys, a little bit of gray in there. The helmets are silver and shiny looking. Their main colors tend to be navy blue, but I'm not seeing a lot of navy blue on their uniforms. Meanwhile, Capital in their customary purple uniforms. 1st and 10 at the 22. It's a quarterback keeper. To the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. Eventually bounced out of bounds that time around the 45. Lucas Havens starts this game off with a big scramble and a big game for the Pioneers.
They come out with a read option look, and Gibbons, to be said, not really much of a runner. He does have the ability to run. It's not the forefront of his game. He's certainly not looking to run before he passes, but kind of just average as a passer, average as a runner, but didn't look average there.
Took it all the way down to the Capital 45-yard line. Just like that, Marietta's in Capital territory. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers from the Capital 45-yard line. The formation, Cravens in the shotgun, and they fake it once again. But this time, Capital does a nice job of reading the play as Tyler Connor is able to make the stop for the Crusaders.
Connor, defensive end. I believe you interviewed him in this week's show. Was that not, or was it the week before that you talked to him?
About a week ago or so. Yes, very good young man. Originally from Denver, Colorado, but moved to Grove City here in Columbus a couple of years ago. The young man, after he gets done with football, wants to pursue a career in political science. Good for him. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bacon is the tailback. Havens, the quarterback in the pistol formation. This time they give it to Bush. And Bush is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Actually, might have gotten a yard on that play. Doesn't really matter, though, as the stop once again was made by Mr. Connor.
Yeah, Connor was the first one there. A bunch of gang tackling after that. They'll get their pass rushers on there now for 3rd and long. Seen Marietta use a lot of spread early in this game and kind of a read option offense going pistol here now on 3rd and long.
3 wide receivers to the right. Havens in the pistol formation on a 3rd and 9 for the Capital 44-yard line. Havens takes the snap, will hand off, and Bush with a strong run. I think he might be about a yard short. Needed 9 on that play, and I think only got 8.
Yeah, but 4th down, they're coming quick now as some subs are trying to run onto the field for Cap. They're going for it.
4th and 1 at the 36. Fumbled on the play, and Marietta's going to get stopped. Havens dropped the ball, and Derek Ebon touched him up on the turf, signaling the play dead, and Marietta turns the ball over on downs because of a botched snap from center.
I'm not sure if it was on the exchange there, some kind of miscommunication or not, but if Havens just pulls that thing back, he's got a 1st down easy. Everyone collapsed on the running back Bush on that read option, and for Capital, Marietta kind of just stops themselves.
12:49 to play in the 1st quarter. No score between Capital and Marietta. So now Capital will have the ball at their own 38-yard line. They're going from left to right in order to score in this quarter. Marietta going from right to left in order to score in this quarter. They come out throwing, and it's to Wyrick. Wyrick will cut it upfield across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. So actually 42 is where they will spot it. So good pickup on the play for the senior from West Liberty, Ohio.
And we talked about adding wrinkles to this offense. They come out 4 wide. They do it again now. They got 2 running backs, not really in more of a flex bone look. This is more of a traditional under center ace back look.
2 wide receivers each side of the field. Walton is the tailback, and now Iskey look to the Capital sideline for guidance. So a gain of 4 on that last play by Wyrick. It'll be a 2nd down and 6. Capital is at their own 42-yard line. A man is put in motion. The give is to Walton, but Walton is quickly bottled up on the play, making the tackle look like it was Aaron Johnson, defensive lineman from Rex, Georgia.
Very interesting formation. We haven't really seen this from Capital in any of the last 2 years. Really spreading the field out, still keeping Walton there. They send a man in motion to the backfield to try to get that triple option look going. This is more of their traditional formation now with the running backs kind of behind the centers.
3rd and 4, Capital at their own 42-yard line. The give once again is to Walton, but Walton once again is stacked up. Daryl DeWitt, one of the top tacklers in the OAC, was able to make the stop. 5'7", 212-pound senior from Lilburn, Georgia.
And much like Marietta, Capital is lining up to go for it too. They're going to have the slotbacks behind the tackles once again here, and they did a little bit of a lead draw for Walton on that last play.
4th and 1, Capital at their own 47-yard line. Iski will now pause, look to the sideline to change the play. A wide receiver to each side of the field. Jake Brecky is in there, as well as Wally Brewer at the slotback position. And Brent Walton's the B-back. Breaky's put in motion. Toss to Breaky. Breaky's got the edge. Got the first down. He'll be taken down eventually around the 50-yard line. Gain of 3 for the senior from Pickerington, Ohio. First down, Crusaders.
They go horizontal there, going up to the top side of the field, and got a great block from Skelton to shield the edge there. And the block is what allowed them to get first down. You'd expect him to just run up the middle there with Walton, but a great edge block gets him the first down.
1st and 10 at midfield. And Iski's been doing a lot of this so far. He's been changing the play at the line of scrimmage, first looking to the Capital sideline.
Working a bit of a hard count, too, trying to get Marietta to commit.
2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now a man is put in motion. Iski with the play action. He'll throw. The pass is complete to Skelton. To the 40. Skelton dragging tacklers near the 35. The ball will be spotted actually at the 37-yard line. Another Capital first down. This passing attack is looking good.
This is great. They're working short passes. They did a little bubble screen on that first play. This one just a simple hook route. Very easy throws for Iski, not asking too much of him, and the receivers are wide open.
1st and 10, Capital at Marietta's 37-yard line. The first time the Crusaders have gotten into Marietta territory offensively. 2 wide receivers to the right.
I like that they're setting up quickly and then using clock, kind of getting their look at Marietta and then calling their play based off of the defensive look.
A little bit of tempo. The fake to Walton. Toss. Now it is over to look like Nick Waters, and Waters written out of bounds that time. I was surprised that they didn't throw a flag on that play.
I guess he started the tackle and then went out of bounds, and kind of you can't just let go of him, but it wasn't a vicious tackle by any account. But
yeah, Joe Ortega definitely rode Waters out of bounds that time.
He finished the tackle on the other side of the white line of the out of bounds. Was in front of some of his teammates on the bench when he made that tackle.
After the gain of 1, 2nd down and 9, Capital at Marietta's 35-yard line. And once again, Iski will change up the play, the line of scrimmage. Got a bunch of wide receivers out there on the field. 1 to the right and 2 to the left. Iski under center. Now he'll put a man in motion. Iski now running the sweep to the right, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15. Knocked out near the 15-yard line was Nick Iski, as he was forced out of bounds by Corey Hunsberger, the junior defensive back from Washington, Pennsylvania. Another first down for Capital.
These plays, we haven't seen any of these play calls really in a long, I don't think in any kind of the game that we've done, I don't remember any of these formations, any of these plays. I'm loving what Candido did for this game, and again, we talked about how important it was to throw something different than what Muskingum did last week at this Marietta defense, and they just look genuinely confused right now.
1st and 10, Capital at Marietta's 16-yard line. This has been an impressive drive to begin this game here for Capital. Iski once again under center. Once again, he'll put a man in motion. He'll fake it to Walton. Iski will keep it, and he's just battling for yards at this point. Turns out to be a really good carry for Iski as he takes it past the 15 to about the 12-yard line or so.
Bounced off a few guys, and again, as we've seen all season, Nick Iski making good decisions in the option game. Last year, that was kind of his biggest weakness, was making some poor decisions, led to a lot of fumbles or negative plays, but even on the plays that haven't gone anywhere, he's made the right read. Sometimes the play isn't there, and you live to fight another down, and that's what he did there.
Gain of 4 on that last play. 2nd and 6. Capital at Marietta's 13-yard line. 1 wide receiver to the right.
Interesting how one of his biggest weaknesses is one of his biggest strengths after just one offseason.
Niski once again under center, puts a man in motion. The give is to Walton, and Walton will dive forward, cross the 10, about the 9.5-yard line or so. So about a gain of 3 on that play for Walton, who just this last week became Capital's all-time leading rusher. He had been stuck in a tie because of having to deal with that turf toe for much of October. But finally, record is his, Jimmy.
Yeah, he deserves it. For what we've seen the last 2 years out of him, one of the most prolific athletes on this team, and he's just a guy that simply bangs it up the middle, gives you 4 or 5 yards every time.
3rd and 3, Capital at Marietta's 10-yard line, and the give is to Walton. Let's see where they spot the ball. He needed 3 yards. He needed to get it to the 7-yard line, and
just short, I think.
I think about short by a yard or so. So this will bring up a 4th down and 1. I think there's no question that you go for it here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they could go wide again. That first run going outside on this same situation kind of sets up a play where you can really go inside, outside here. You can do whatever you want, and maybe even go to one of those bubble screens again if they choose to spread them out. A lot of different plays that Candido can do. I love the play calling on this drive. See what he comes up with on 4th down.
Ball spotted at Marietta's 7-yard line. Crusaders need a yard to convert. It's 4th down, and it looks like they are going to talk it over on the Capital sidelines after the Crusaders take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 6:16 to go here in the first quarter. Capital and Marietta are scoreless here at Bernlohr Stadium. You're listening to Capital Football here on the Capital Sports Network.
What is that bizarre contraption?
It's my latest Jimmy John's online ordering enhancement, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir. You know our popular Jimmy John's online ordering service?
Yes, click order eat.
This is the perfect time-saving companion.
How perfect?
Presenting the Jimmy John's F4000 three-dimensional sandwich printer.
Oh, boy.
See, we put one of these babies in the home of every Jimmy John's customer.
Uh-huh.
They order the sandwich online.
Uh-huh.
And we send a signal to the F4000 their sandwich.
Ed, how much does one of these babies cost?
With the quantity discount, $50,000, sir.
And how long does it take to print a sandwich?
About 8 hours, sir.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Back to the drawing board?
No, stay away from the drawing board, Ed.
This is a message for all those MBA seekers out there. For the junior exec who'd rather be senior. For the VP yearning to be CEO. And for everyone who'd call their job not just a profession, but a passion. Capital University's MBA program was built exclusively.
Welcome back to Bernlohr Stadium. 6:16 to play in the first quarter. Capital, Marietta are scoreless, but Capital is knocking on the door. 4th down and 1 for the Crusaders. They're at Marietta's 7-yard line. Iski will be under center. 1 wide receiver to each side of the field. Walton is the B-back. And the give is to Walton, and I think Walton is going to be short. We're going to have to check the spot here. Marietta with a nice push up the middle.
So he certainly didn't get much. He didn't need it. He needed less than a yard, and it might have been enough as the offense is lining up. Defense is clapping now. I think they're going to bring out the chain gang.
So he needed it to get it to the 6.
Both teams are pretty confident that they made a stop or got the first down, depending on what unit you're talking about.
So
this
now
is going to be close.
Yeah, so now they bring the chains out onto the field. 6:12 remaining in the first quarter. Capital and Marietta are scoreless. They put the chain down, and Capital will be short.
Just short. Big play, big stop by the Pioneers after turning it over on downs their first time. They get the big stop in the red zone. They're going to be backed up here again and come out shotgun a lot. So pretty much going to be taking the snap in the end zone if they choose to go shotgun again here. And a chance for the Capital defense to make a play.
So both teams have turned the ball over on downs on their first offensive possessions of the game. Marietta will come back out onto the field for their second offensive possession of the game. 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line. 6:12 remaining in the first quarter. No score between the Crusaders and the Pioneers. The handoff is to Bush. And Bush will drive forward, continue the push to pile up to about the 10-yard line. So he'll get a gain of 4 after pushing a pile of white and purple forward. This is a Marietta offense that features 2 standout running backs, one in Roger Bush and one in Nick O'Neill. Kind of the shifty back at 5'10", 198 pounds. O'Neill, more of a load, 6 foot 230. So 2nd down and 6. The give to the ball carrier for Marietta. Let's see here. That will go up to about the 13-yard line or so. So this will be a gain of 3 on the play. I believe Nick O'Neill O'Neill has checked into the ball game for Marietta. Yep, that's O'Neill with number 34 on the back of the jersey.
To really see anything really explosive out of this Marietta offense, they've had some success with the read option, but a lot of other plays haven't really done anything. It's been boom or bust with this read option today.
3rd and 3, Marietta at their own 13-yard line. Under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter, no score. The give is to the tailback, O'Neill, and O'Neill will have just enough for a first down as he needed to take it to the 16-yard line. Turns out he got to the 17-yard line. First down for the Pioneers.
And we've seen a lot of 10 and 11 personnel groupings, which means 4 wide receiver or 3 wide receivers with a tight end, and they've been running it out of those typically pass formations. It's been the trend all day. Again, they come out 3 wide with a tight end again. They haven't really thrown the ball at all today, Charlie.
1st and 10, Marietta at their own 18-yard line. Havens puts a man in motion, and now a flag has been thrown. We have our first penalty of the game, and it will be a false start penalty against Marietta.
Right after picking up a first down, you shoot yourself in the foot immediately. To say that it's been a bit of a struggle today offensively for Marietta is a bit of an understatement. Obviously, on that down play, fumbling in exchange between the quarterback and running back, they really are not executing to full ability right now, and Capital's defense kind of benefiting from that.
1st and 15 after the penalty. Marietta backed up at their own 14-yard line. Havens in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and he bobbles a snap, and now he has to run for his life. He's being chased, and he will have no choice but to throw it out of bounds. That is the second difficulty that Marietta has had with the snap that time. It was a low snap. Havens wasn't able to really handle it all that much. Scrambles to his right, and luckily for him, he's able to pitch it out of bounds just in time before he got hammered by a Capital defender.
I really wouldn't put that on Jalowick either, the center. That was right in the hands on the Havens. He's not looking the ball into his hands, simply enough. You got to come up with that snap. It's right there in your lap. Just catch the ball and then make the play. He's trying to make a play too quickly. Capital outnumbered here on the near sideline.
2nd and 15. Marietta at their own 14-yard line. And a big opening for Havens. To the 45-yard line he goes via a quarterback scramble. The second big run of the day for Havens. And that'll give the Pioneers a lot of breathing room going forward offensively.
Now, Capital's defense is really respecting Roger Bush, and all these options, it seems they're committing to the running back too quickly. Havens is making the right read, goes right through the teeth of the defense. They were also outnumbered. There was a stack formation on the bottom, and Capital really was just not in good positioning to defend that play. O'Neill's back in at running back.
1st and 10. Marietta now at their own 36-yard line after the big gain by Havens. Havens in the pistol, 2 wide receivers to the right. Now it's a play action. Havens will scramble to his left. He'll loft up a pass. He will throw, and it is batted away at the last moment by J.R. Garrigo, the leading tackler as a freshman, I might add, for Capital.
He's looked great. Every game we've called, Garrigo has been really impressive in the secondary. Made a nice play there. That thing was just a duck lofting, and it almost worked. It seemed like the defensive backs couldn't close on that ball. Garrigo finally gets in there at the last second. Mentioned O'Neal in there as the running back. They have the starter with Bush, obviously. We've seen a lot of him today, but Bush and O'Neal each have 140 carries this season, so it's a dead even 50-50 timeshare.
Havens will now hand off to O'Neal. O'Neal is going to be tackled by Garrigo. Had to drag him down that time across the 40-yard line to about the 42. So that'll be a pickup of 6 on that play for O'Neal, the sophomore from Montbelvo, Texas.
Bush is 662-yard rusher this season, and O'Neal has 560. Bush has 10 touchdowns to O'Neal's 4. But you're going to see a lot of both of them involved today.
On a 3rd and 3, Marietta will go with another run as O'Neal plows his way forward for another first down near midfield.
Kind of last point on that. It's nice to have that. You can go to either guy and keep fresh legs in there. They kind of bring the same skill set to the table. And together, they're a 1,000-yard rusher, averaging 4 yards a pop. So it's a nice little production from your running back position, especially in a read option with Havens getting it done on the ground as well today.
Marietta with a 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Coming up on 2.5 minutes to play. Still no score between Capital and Marietta. O'Neal once again with the ball, and he will be stacked up around midfield. Eventually, he will be taken down. Making a play defensively was Tyler Conn. We've been calling his name a whole bunch to begin this game.
Late flag came up there at the end of that tackle, too. And the officials are going to sort it out.
Still waiting for the call from midfield. Connor did bring O'Neal down hard, but this was a flag that was thrown at Capital's 45-yard line. The penalty, I should say, will go against Marietta.
It's a dead ball penalty, too, on sportsmanlike conduct, so that's really going to back them up now for a 2nd and long. 15-yard penalty. And again, Marietta kind of shooting themselves in the foot. They've had a lot of big plays in these downs, though. They have that read option they've been going to. 3rd and 9, they had one that ran for 8 yards, getting it just short of the marker. That last time they had a false start, they came right back with a read option, picked up the first down on a 16-yard carry. So it is 2nd and long, but Capital has to be ready for that read option now.
2nd and 23 for the Pioneers from their own 35-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the right. Havens will give off to O'Neal. O'Neal with a lot of running room to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40. Shedding tacklers before he is finally brought down on the play.
Another late flag after the tackle. And I think it's going to go against Marietta again.
Ooh, talk about shooting yourselves in the foot, especially after a really impressive run by O'Neal.
Oh, it's a block in the back. That's going to bring it back. So not even a dead ball penalty. You had a 25-yard carry on 2nd and 23, and now it's going to be 2nd and a country mile.
Boy, talk about taking 3 steps forward and then 4 steps back.
Well, actually, that is going to be a spot foul, so we'll see where they spot it. It's going to be 15 yards from the spot of the block. So they might actually get a couple yards in and it'll be 2nd down again. See where they spot it, actually.
Well, either way.
Oh, wow, they're spotting it on this side of midfield, so it's still going to be 2nd and short now.
Well, in a way, Marietta caught a break right there.
Got 15 yards pretty much, and then it should have a 1st down on the other side of the 40, but instead they have a 2nd and short on this side of the 50.
And now they are going to have to reset the play clock here, trying to get everything set and ready to go.
They come out in passing personnel pretty much every down, and they've yet to attempt a pass. And Capital keeps respecting this pass like it's coming every time. They got to really I still would stack up the box and force them to throw it.
2nd and 5, Marietta at Capital's 47-yard line. This time, Capital does a nice job in the run game, stuffing O'Neal near the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Curtis leading the charge defensively for Capital.
That's how you do it right there. Exactly what I was talking about. I should correct myself. They did have that one pass attempt that Garrigo knocked down. But other than that, they've had 3 wide looks coming out with either 4 wide and 1 running back or 3 wide running back and a tight end. And they have just continued to run the ball out of those formations. If we see them go double tight end, I would expect even more of a run here.
3rd and 3, Marietta at Capital's 45-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the left. Havens gives off to O'Neal, and O'Neal fights his way forward for a 1st down inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Nice block inside by the freshman Brendan Mullahan. He had to come in for center Anthony Lowick, who lost his helmet on the previous play.
They're just simply smash-mouth football right now up front. They're winning that battle with the defensive line, offensive line, getting a better push on the offensive side of the ball, and it's allowing these huge running holes for both O'Neal and Bush.
Speaking of O'Neal and Bush, Bush checks in for O'Neal. O'Neal, by the way, a road grader, 6 foot 230. Now a pass over the middle, and it is going to be caught. The wide receiver, Hunter Rochnick, 5'9", 162-pound freshman from Industry, Pennsylvania, making the catch.
I think that's his first snap of the day. I haven't seen him out there on the field. Comes in, gets a nice little slant route. That's a tough catch in traffic.
Yeah, truth be told, I didn't have him listed on my depth chart today, but apparently they know he's a good player, and they were able to make a big play out of him. And that brings us to the end of the 1st quarter. We still have no score between Capital and Marietta. This is your home for Crusader football, the Capital Sports Network.
This is a message for all those MBA seekers out there. For the junior exec who'd rather be senior. For the VP yearning to be CEO. And for everyone who'd call their job not just a profession, but a passion. Capital University's MBA program was built exclusively for professionals, experienced faculty, flexible schedules, and classmates you'll soon consider colleagues. Learn more at capital.edu/MBA. The Capital University MBA, for those driven to do more.
This is a message for the nurses among us, for those who dream of saving lives, for those who are driven to improve care, and for those ready to help heal what's broken, be it a single fracture or an entire hospital system. Capital University's advanced nursing programs are built for you. Engaged faculty, immersive learning, and intimate classes where you'll know everyone's name. To learn more, visit capital.edu/nursing. Advanced nursing at Capital University, for those driven to do more.
Welcome back to Bernlohr Stadium. The start of the second quarter between Marietta and Capital. No score between the Crusaders and the Pioneers. 2nd and 2. Marietta in Capital territory. The give is to Bush, and Bush will go forward to the 25, about the 24-yard line. Pick up a 6 on the play, more than enough for another Marietta first down.
He might have a similar name to Reggie Bush, but he couldn't be more different at a runner. He's getting right in under in between the tackles and banging in his way for a couple of yards. Nothing versatile really about his running style. It's just kind of bruiser.
Yeah, Reggie Bush, originally from San Diego, California. Roger Bush, he's from Palm Bay, Florida. So two different guys from two different locales. 1st and 10. Pioneers at their own 24-yard line. Looks like this will be a free play. They give it to Bush. Bush is going to be taken down on the play by Derek Ebom. But, Jimmy, it looked as though a Capital player jumped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think it was Connor on that right end spot. Just kind of laughing there on that carry from Bush. He just kind of got bounced around and was just tucking the ball underneath and running up the middle and bounced off his own players, some Capital players. No one really brought him down. Just kind of pinballing his way for a couple of yards. He's a really tough runner. And definitely going to need some gang tackling to stop him, and it's something that we've seen today. A lot of success running the ball from Marietta. O'Neill actually has 2 carries for 40 yards statistically. Bush 4 for 22. Havens has 3 for 29, so almost 10 yards a pop in that first quarter.
After the penalty, 1st and 5. Marietta at Capital's 19-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the field, but again, they go with the running play to Bush, and Bush, boy, spinning off of tacklers.
Hit him with the B button there.
To about the 16-yard line or so. So this will set up a 3rd and short situation for Marietta. I believe they have about a yard to go to pick up the first down.
I think you heard me say he wasn't very versatile and showing a little bit of a little spin move we didn't see coming. 4 yards of carry again for him today, and gets 4 yards there on 1st and short.
2nd and 1. Havens in the pistol, 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, but once again they give it to Bush, and Bush will have more than enough for a first down as he takes it inside the 10, about the 9-yard line.
Not surprising that we didn't see the team score in the first quarter, but we did expect both teams to kind of get gashed on the ground, and Capital's averaging 6 yards an attempt, and Marietta's averaging 10 yards an attempt.
Marietta with 103 rushing yards already in this game, and we just started the second quarter.
This is their second drop.
1st and goal from the Capital 9-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right for Marietta. Havens, the quarterback, is in the pistol formation along with the tailback Roger Bush. Bush gets the ball to the 5-yard line or so. So right around that average, Jimmy, as he keeps it up. 4 yards, probably 4.5 on that last play.
Heck of a play by Havens, too. That was a really high snap, and he reached up quickly, got clean hands on it. And obviously he's been having some problems today with those snaps. That one made a nice adjustment on, and could have been a really nightmare situation. He's been having more problems with the lower snaps, it seems like, than the high ones, as he made a nice play on that. Get some positive yards.
2nd and goal, this time from the Capital 5-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Marietta. Havens once again in the pistol. He will fake it to Bush, and Havens will get smacked at about the 1-yard line as he was trying to dive forward to the end zone. Capital stops him at the last moment, setting up a 3rd and 1.
Well, that was a great play, actually, by Brett Annis. He was the man. Actually, they just did a quick snap there, Charlie.
And let's see if Marietta was able to get in there. Still looking for a signal. And none. Yes, now they have given it. It will be a touchdown for Marietta. Boy, that caught, I think, everybody off guard.
Yeah, I put my head down to check out a name on the sheet here, and all of a sudden, into the end zone is Havens. Just went under center and did a quick Tom Brady QB sneak there, and he gets into the end zone for Marietta.
So Havens with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season on that little gainer. And now attempting the point after is Jimmy Abracia,
freshman
from Northfield, Ohio. The kick is up, and it is good. So Marietta gets on the ball, gets on the board first, I should say. As we go to commercial break, 11:58 to play here in the second quarter. Marietta 7, Capital nothing. This is your home for Crusader football, the Capital Sports Network.
Crusader student athletes by providing sports health services for Capital University athletics and student health services. Through the work and care of team physicians and athletic trainers, it's the team behind your team. For all fans, if you're looking to improve your physical performance, recover from an injury, or stay active for a lifetime, the experts at Ohio State Sports Medicine are there for you. Visit sportsmedicine.osu.edu or call 366-4332. Army ROTC is one of the best leadership courses in the country and can be a part of your college curriculum. As a potential or current student at Capital University, learning to become a leader will make your college experience even richer and prepare you for the future.
Welcome back to Bernlohr Stadium. Marietta getting on the board first thanks to a 1-yard touchdown run by quarterback Lucas Havens. Marietta 7, Capital nothing, but 11:58 to play here in the second quarter alongside Jimmy Bloom. I'm Charlie Danis. We'll talk about that last play in just a moment. In the meantime, here's kickoff, and taking it is going to be, let's see, to the 20, to the 25, and to the 30. Looks like that was Eddie Preciado on that play, the California native. Jimmy, let's go back to that last play for Marietta. Boy, you talk about quick tempo right there.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back 2 plays, too. I was going to say Annis actually made a good stop. He's the man that was responsible for the quarterback on the read option. Somehow Havens met him at the 4-yard line, and you said he kind of dove forward, and that dive prevented it from being a loss first off. Gets it to the 1-yard line, and all of a sudden it just hops up right under center and pounds it in. Really tough running from Havens inside on both of those plays.
So now Capital will have the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 30. And 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side of the field. Walton is the B-back. Iskey will drop back and throw, and it is caught. Caught at the 35-yard line. Making the catch on the play was Jake Skelton, the senior in Madison, Ohio.
And there it is again, the quick passing game. Getting Skelton involved on his senior day. But I would like to see some of these formations carry into next year as well. Hopefully they're not just trying to get Skelton the ball, and they're actually going to kind of add this to the offense. It's really adding a nice little wrinkle effect, and I love this spread look out of this formation. Motion guys into the backfield. Add some layers to offense.
2nd and 3, Capital at their own 37-yard line. Once again, with all those wide receivers, and Iskey is going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Making the tackle was Nick Thompson for Marietta as Iskey kept the ball, but Jimmy, it went nowhere.
No, I thought he should have given the ball to Walton there. Hindsight's 2020. It's pretty easy to make the call up here as well, but Iskey really didn't fool Johnson on that play. The right end from Marietta making a nice read on that option.
Once again, 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side of the field. 3rd and 4 for Capital from their own 36-yard line. Iskey puts a man in motion. He's still under center. Now he takes a snap. He'll run to his right. He will dive forward, and he has just enough for the first down.
A nice rebound there. He did a good job again faking it to Walton. Late flag again. I'm not sure who it's on, but for the time being, Iskey doing a nice job finding where the stick was. He could have pitched that and gone outside, but he knew exactly where the first down was and dove right to the marker.
Flag was thrown back at the Capital 30-yard line, and oh boy, an unsportsmanlike penalty going against Capital. I didn't see anybody do anything weird on that last play. Did you, Jimmy?
I didn't see anything myself either. The good news is it's going to be a first down at least, because it's a dead ball penalty, so they do pick up the first down. And rather than it being a 1st and long or a 3rd and long even, it's still just going to be a fresh set of 1st and 10. But they do back themselves up and pretty much go nowhere on that last set of downs.
1st and 10, Capital. Now at their own 26-yard line after the penalty.
They do kind of get a little bit of a break there.
2 wide receivers to each side of the field once again. Brenton Walton, the B-back. Iskey under center. Now the give is to Walton, and Walton with his first good carry of the game as he takes it up towards the 35-yard line. And will actually spot it at the 34 after that nice carry by Brent Walton.
Very quiet day for Walton. He had 5 carries for 12 yards on that first drive. That was it. Used to seeing him start off really hot, usually.
Gain of 9 on that last play, so now it will be 2nd down and 1. Capital at their own 34-yard line, and that same formation, 2 receivers each side of the field. Now they give it to Walton. Walton trying to stiff arm his way to another big gain that time. Unfortunately for him, he only gets 3, but good news is it's good enough for a Capital first down.
And again, not letting that penalty affect them. They pretty much pick up that first down. They're pretty much right exactly where they would have been. Ball's going to be at the 39. They would have been at the 40, so they're fine. They make up for that penalty. And there's not a clock again, driving the ball slowly. This is exactly how this offense is supposed to operate.
1st and 10. Capital at their own 39-yard line. Once again, 2 wide receivers to each side of the field. Meanwhile, Walton, the B-back, Iski will put a man in motion. And now the give is to Johnny Eaton, and Eaton lost his footing that time. He came in as a substitute for Walton, and boy, if he kept his balance, the Wapakoneta native would have had a big-time gain right there. Still good enough for a Capital first down, though.
He had a hole, just a gigantic hole at midfield, and he lost his footing and stumbled forward for about 7 yards. If he runs out of that cleanly, he's got a 20, 30-yard carry.
Iski will once again look to the sideline for guidance here. We get up for a 1st and 10. Capital Marietta's 45-yard line. Oh, by the way, a little injury update. They're taking a look at Joe Rodriguez on the field. Looks like he's getting attended to with his right arm. We'll keep you updated. Iski, meanwhile, goes back to pass. Thought about going deep. Now he scrambles to his left. He will throw, and it is out of bounds as he was trying to hit Wyrick on the near side of the field. Incomplete pass. Coverage on the play that time by, let's see here, looked as though it was Christian Mayola.
Good job by by Wyrick to come back to Iski after that play wasn't there. Iski kind of forced just get rid of it and throw it in the direction of Wyrick. Really wasn't much of a chance of a completion after that initial pop wasn't there. But a great veteran move by Wyrick, really. A team that didn't pass the ball much. He comes back to the ball there to try to help out his quarterback. And at least it just resulted in an incompletion. It could have been much worse there.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Capital still at Marietta's 45-yard line. 8:28 to play here in the second quarter with Marietta leading Capital 7-0. Jake Brakey trying to break a tackle. Gets inside the 40-yard line. So this will be a pickup of about 6 or so for the senior from Pickerington, Ohio.
Great news to pass along as the women's soccer team leads 1-0. They scored. Again, they're in NCAA first-round action. And the goal, I'm not really sure what happened because it says the goal was scored by Claire Quinn off an assist from Claire Quinn. So somewhere in there, someone got a goal and assist. But as it stands, Capital leads 1-0.
3rd and 4, meanwhile, for the football Crusaders. Capital at Marietta's 39-yard line. Iski will once again change the play at the line of scrimmage. He's got 2 wide receivers to his right. And he won't have time to get the playoff that time as there was a little bit of confusion with him communicating with the Capital sideline. We'll take a timeout as well. 7:39 to play here in the second quarter. Marietta 7, Capital nothing. This is your home for Crusaders football, the Capital Sports Network.
Army ROTC is one of the best leadership courses in the country and can be a part of your college curriculum. A potential or current student at Capital University, learning to become a leader will make your college experience even richer and prepare you for the future. Capital Army ROTC can provide scholarships and many more benefits to those who enroll, but the biggest benefit will be experienced firsthand after joining. For more information on Capital Army ROTC, testimonials, and an in-depth look at what the program can offer you, go to www.capital.edu/ROTC.
Don't settle for a tasteless pizza after the game when Anthony's Pizzeria is right in your neighborhood, serving up the best East Coast-style pie with their own fresh dough made daily. Family-owned and Bexley proud, Anthony's offers the best subs on the block as well as fresh calzones and strong rolls. And Anthony's Pizza has been voted #1 on Pleasant Ridge.
Back here at Burnlor Stadium, 7:39 to play in the second quarter. Capital with a 3rd and 4 at Marietta's 39-yard line. The Crusaders trail the Pioneers 7-0. Iski with 2 wide receivers to his right. He will go under center now. Walton is the B-back. And now he's trying to put a man in motion. 8 seconds on the play clock. Iski gets the snap off. Now he'll roll to his right, and he's got a big hole to the 35 to the 30, and he'll be wrestled down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A nice read that time by Nick Iski, former Hilliard-Davidson Wildcat here in Columbus. Another first down for the Crusaders.
No surprise there. Another nice read by Iski. Gets the first down. Offense keeps rolling.
And that clock keeps moving as well. Approaching 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
Just the second drive for the Crusaders, so don't think that they've been struggling offensively with no points here in the middle of the second quarter. Just been a big drives from both teams.
Once again, 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side of the field for Capital. Walton is in the backfield. He'll put Waters in motion, and now he'll keep it, and Iski will just simply dive forward inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 2.
Generous spot, too.
Main thing for Capital is, Jimmy, that they're keeping the ball moving forward, and once again with the triple option offense, they're eating up a lot of time on the clock.
Coming out with a little bit more of a spread look again. Lining up in the slot is Brewer.
Once again, Iski under center, 2nd and 8. Capital at Marietta's 27-yard line. Play fake. Iski will go up top. Wide open. Cut to the end zone. Touchdown, Capital. Wally Brewer was all by his lonesome, and Iski hits him with a score.
No one guarded him. They didn't even respect the threat of the pass, and that's what comes out. You come out on that spread look. Beautiful play fake. No one picks up Brewer. Looked like he almost was overthrown, but has put it right perfectly in the lap for Brewer, and a nice touchdown.
Wally Brewer with a receiving touchdown in this game for the Crusaders. And so now the PAT team comes onto the field for Cap.
Came out in the swinging gate just to see if they had any kind of number advantage, and they'll just take the extra point now.
Jack Johns on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. We got ourselves a tie ball game, 7 apiece between Capital and Marietta, with 6:19 to play here in the second quarter. Let's take another timeout here at Bernlohr Stadium. This is your home for Crusaders football, the Capital Sports Network.
Pizza after the game when Anthony's Pizzeria is right in your neighborhood, serving up the best East Coast style pie with their own fresh dough made daily. Family owned and Bexley proud, Anthony's offers the best subs on the block as well as fresh calzones and stromboli. Anthony's Pizza has been voted #1 on Pleasant Ridge. Dine or carry out, Anthony's is easy to find at 602 Pleasant Ridge, adjacent to the Capital University Athletic Complex. And as easy as dialing 231-6628 to order the best. 231-6628, Anthony's Pizzeria. When looking for great food at low price, be sure.
Back here at Bernlohr Stadium, 6:19 to play in the third quarter in second quarter, excuse me. Getting ahead of myself. Then again, this game has gone by really fast so far. Capital and Marietta tied at 7 apiece alongside Jimmy Bloomfield. I'm Charlie Danis. A gorgeous day here in Bexley, Ohio. Sunny skies. Temperatures are in the mid-50s. It's still a rather chilly day outside, Jimmy, but again, you just could not ask for more perfect weather, and you could not have asked for a more perfect response offensively by Capital on their last drive.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've only seen 2 drives from both teams midway through the second quarter. It's kind of strange. Both teams lost the ball on downs their first time, and both teams have a nice long touchdown drive their second time.
And boy, man, Marietta would have been much better served if they had just let that kick go out of bounds, but it was caught. Looked as though by Lawrence Johnson. Well, no wonder. He's a 6 foot, 170-pound freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas. But then again, with all these games supposedly under his belt, you should know better as a kick return to let that ball simply sail out of bounds.
And not only did he just catch that, he didn't even try to return it or anything. He caught it and tried to tap his toe like he was making a catch on the sideline. If he's at least trying to make an effort in advancing the ball, you could have a little bit more of a defense. But really, just a poor decision. Would have had the ball at the 35-yard line.
Instead, it's at the 13. And now a swing pass out to the side. Taking it to the 25-yard line is Clay Moorfield.
And he stopped. He might have gotten the first down. He might be just a tad short. I think he's going to be short.
No, they're actually moving
the chains, on
Jimmy.
The first down. Okay,
yep.
But anyway, he could have had 3 or 4 more yards there if he goes into that contact and just kind of shied away from it, ran out of bounds. But he is going to get the first down. Almost a big mental mistake on back-to-back plays.
Under 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Capital and Marietta tied at 7. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for the Pioneers. 1st and 10. Pioneers at their own 23-yard line. Havens, the quarterback. Now he gives off to O'Neal. No, he play fake as Haven keeps it. And Havens with a lot of running room past the 35 to almost to the 40. Another big first down for Marietta as Havens continues to show off the wheels.
He is a slippery guy, too. Runs really low to the ground. Again, coming into this game, he averaged just 37 yards a game on the ground, and he's already at that mark today.
5'11", 180-pound senior from Granville Summit, Pennsylvania. A lot of kids from the Keystone State on this Marietta squad. 1st and 10. Give once again to O'Neal, and O'Neal to the 40, to the 45. Boy, he's dragging people as he picks up another first down. Gain of 11 on that play.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, for the Texas native, 6 foot, 230 pounds. Mercy.
You mentioned a lot of players from Pennsylvania on this squad. Makes sense. Marietta located pretty much in Pennsylvania, right on the border between Ohio and PA, in southeast Ohio.
Well, and, you know, everybody always talks about the great recruiting talent that Ohio possesses across the state. Western Pennsylvania, boy,
yeah,
that place has been a gold mine for football talent over the years. Havens will throw, and a one-handed catch is made by the tight end Nick Hyman, the junior from Beaver, Pennsylvania.
All right.
Wow.
All right. Nice little catch there. Sticks his right hand out, one hands it against his helmet almost. Nice little catch there.
Look what I can do, Ma.
I don't know if he was being held. There was a defender on his back looking at the nice little replay that we have now on the video board. Nice little catch there.
2nd and 4 after the pass play to Hyman. Marietta already at Capital's 46-yard line, coming up on 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Havens will give to O'Neal. O'Neal will bounce it outside, and boy, he's just running over people as he takes it to the 41-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play, but he dished out punishment on the way.
Oh, both he and Bush do a fantastic job of
and
keeping
now
it going.
A flag has been thrown here after some extracurricular activities thrown around the Capital 35-yard line. A lot of pushing and shoving and jawing by both squads.
It looks like Alex Smith, the receiver from Marietta, was tangled up with someone in the secondary from Capital.
Let's see what the call is right here. Unsportsmanlike conduct is going to be against Capital.
I think it's Jimmy Curtis who's going to be the culprit there. He was jawing with the receiver, shoving away from the play there at the end of that play.
Second unsportsmanlike penalty on Capital today.
Third of the game.
Third of the game, yeah. 1st and 10. As Marietta moves up to Capital's 26-yard line. And rather surprising, too, Capital, one of the least penalized teams, not only in the OAC, but in the country. Certainly not showing it here today so far. The gives to O'Neal once again, to the 25, to the 30, to the 20, inside the 20, near the 15-yard line as O'Neal just continues to crank out yards.
Once him and Bush get going, they get their momentum going so downhill that it's impossible to slow them down with 1-2 guys. He needs like 3 or 4, it seems, every carry to slow this guy down. It's been the same story for Bush today. 2 very good downhill runners.
Gain of 9 on that last play for O'Neal. O'Neal still in there as the tailback. 2nd and 1. Marietta at Capital 17-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Lucas Havens, the quarterback in the pistol formation. Calls for the snap, gets it, hands it. No, he keeps it, and he will get just enough. Gain of 2 on the play as Havens takes it to the 15-yard line, keeping the drive going, keeping the clock running here in the second quarter as we approach 3 minutes to go.
Looks like a car accident there. We're just people piling on top of each other. Somehow able to get the first down out of that.
So 1st and 10, Marietta now at Capital's 15 Capital's 15-yard line. Capital and Marietta tied at 7, but the Pioneers are knocking on the door at the moment. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. O'Neal is the tailback. Havens in the pistol, gets the snap, hands to O'Neal. O'Neal with a lot of running room, and he will continue to move it forward inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. And play will be whistled dead. Capital will be probably advised to get out of there in the pocket before somebody throws another punch or commits another silly penalty. And they do.
I mean, just looking at him run the ball, he has quick feet. He keeps leaning his weight on his left, to his right, to his left, to his right, pushing the pile forward every carry. He's been phenomenal today, averaging almost 10 yards a carry.
2nd and 3, Marietta at Capital's 8-yard line. The give is to O'Neal, and O'Neal is dragged down in the backfield. A nice push up front that time. by Nick Wright, the junior defensive lineman from Hilliard, Ohio. Also went to Hilliard-Davidson. A lot of kids, as we tend to mention, from the Hilliard area on this Capital squad.
About 15 minutes down the road, maybe 20.
3rd and 3 coming up here for Marietta. Ball will be spotted at Capital's 8-yard line.
Keep an eye on the clock, too. 1:25 left in this half. Capital with just one timeout left if they get the ball back with a chance to score.
Havens in the pistol. He'll put a man in motion. Now the give is to Bush. No, Havens keeps it. Havens is trying to dive forward, and he is able to get the first down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line.
Somehow got Tyler Connor off of him. Had him wrapped up a little bit. Again, slippery. Just kind of spins away from him and dives forward. And with the time still running, pretty much Marietta is going to be the last team to possess the ball this half. I would think we're under a minute now, and they're still not really hurrying whatsoever.
51 seconds and counting as that clock continues to run. Marietta taking its dear sweet time here. First and goal from Capital's 3-yard line. This time Havens will get up under center behind Anthony J-Lowick, excuse me. 2 wide receivers each side of the field, but again the give is to Bush, and Bush gets into the end zone for another Marietta touchdown.
A really simple off-tackle run to the left side there. That's all it took. And Marietta continuing to just plow on the run game.
And an injured Capital player on the field, and it looks like it's Nick Wright who's having a hard time getting up at the moment. As the athletic training staff comes out onto the field for Capital. We'll step aside for a moment as well. 27.2 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Marietta 13, Capital 7 here on your home for Capital Football, the Capital Sports Network.
To visit Peking Dynasty on the corner of Livingston and Sheridan right near the Capital University campus. Peking Dynasty has a large selection of Chinese food and sushi, along with great tasting chicken and beef selections that can please any appetite. In addition, Capital University students receive discounts with a valid ID any day of the week. That's Peking Dynasty on the corner of Livingston and Sheridan right near the Capital campus. We are proud to say, go Cap.
With 14 TVs to watch your favorite team or the next big event, Plank's Cafe and Pizzeria in German.
Well, Nick Wright is walking under his own power back to the Capital sideline. So it's good to see that that young man is doing okay. You know, who's not doing okay at the moment is Capital. They have relinquished the lead to Marietta after a rushing touchdown by Roger Bush. And now on to kick the extra point is Jimmy Imbrascia. Snap is back, hold is down, the kick is on the way, and it is good. So with the extra point made, it is a 14-7 lead for Marietta over Capital with 27.2 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And Jimmy, boy, this has been one of the more odd games that I have witnessed or called, in that both these teams haven't had a lot of offensive possessions, and this has been a game where you'd think that the teams would want to spread it out and throw it a little bit, but for the vast majority of the time, the action has been on the ground.
Yeah, both these teams love running the football. We talked about how this was going to be a shootout, and it really has been, believe it or not. There's been 5 possessions. Capital turned it over on downs at the 6-yard line. On the other side of the ball, Marietta turned it over on the 35-yard line on the other side of the field. So kind of comparing that situation, you've seen a lot of touchdowns scored by both sides, but only 3 offensive possessions have ended. It scores 3 of 5 so far, 60%.
Antoine Ship and Eddie Preciado back to receive the kick for Capital here. And kicking it away is Andrew Matakovic. Matakovic sends it deep,
short
and
kick.
It is fumbled, and the ball is still loose, and it's still a battle for it. And it looks like Marietta has fallen on top of the football near the 33-yard line. Fumbling the ball was Antoine Ship as he was running up and trying to receive the ball. It bounced off his hands onto the ground. There was a scramble for it, and eventually Marietta came away with the football.
It didn't carry. It was a short kick that really didn't carry at all. and somehow he comes up with a nice job of getting to that football.
21.2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Marietta 14, Capital 7, and boy, now all of a sudden Marietta has a chance to possibly add some points before the end of the half. Havens will put a man in motion with 3 wide receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Havens with a play fake. He will throw deep. He will go deep, and it is just out of the reach of his intended target, that being Hunter Roknich.
And we talked about how in the pregame, if a team that makes a play on special teams has the advantage in this game, and we just see a big play there on special teams.
15.9 seconds to go now in this game. Marietta still at Capital's 34-yard line after the fumble recovery. Havens once again in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Havens will now go back to pass. He'll look downfield. He will scramble, and he will be brought down in the backfield. A flag has now been thrown, and a Marietta player is down. The center, Anthony J. Lowick. He was down for a moment.
Limping a little bit on his right leg.
That could have some. That could bear watching here as this game goes on, especially with how both these teams run. Meanwhile, still trying to sort out the penalty. It is a holding penalty, and the penalty will go against A.J. Epley, the 5'9", 280-pound senior from Zanesville, Ohio.
Call that hold too. That's going to back him up.
So let's see. Second down, and first charge timeout now for Marietta. Let's keep it right here at Bernlohr Stadium for the moment. 11.1 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Marietta 14, Capital 7. This has been a very weird game in that both teams have had minimal chances with the football offensively. There's been a lot of running in this game as we attempt to get you caught up here with the stats from this affair. Marietta, 139 yards on the ground. Capital, meanwhile, only 57 rushing yards. 17 passing yards between the two teams. Marietta with 10, Capital with 7. Total offense for Marietta, 149, Capital 64.
Yeah, again, that play on special teams there, really, Capital could have had a chance to get the ball back. Maybe if they get a big return or something, can get something going themselves. But all of a sudden, they're on their heels and have to stop Marietta from scoring. Worst case, they get the ball to start the second half, and it'd be a 14-7 game. But that fumble really changed things here. Marietta trying to capitalize off of it. Might just go for a Hail Mary.
2nd and 20. Havens goes back to pass. He'll scramble to his right, still looking downfield. He will throw, and boy, was that caught, intercepted on the sideline? No. It was just going out of bounds that time. It was Capital defender. I couldn't see the number, Jimmy.
Garrigo.
Garrigo was trying to make a play on that, yep. But, boy, that was a wobbly-looking duck.
That was an awful throw. It was actually James Estes on the sideline there, not Garrigo. It looked like it was 7, but it was actually number 1. And, I mean, they could try a Hail Mary here, but I don't think Havens has the arm to get to the end zone based on that last throw. Maybe they have a backup quarterback with a better arm. But I also don't understand the decision by Marietta to go for a long pass there. They could have easily checked down there. Maybe Havens even just runs it up the middle. They had timeouts left. Get some positive yardage, maybe get inside the 30 and try a long field goal. But now you're kind of just forced to go for a Hail Mary, and it looks like the fumble on the kickoff isn't going to hurt Capital, and worst case, barring some kind of miracle on a Hail Mary, I'm going to go to the locker room down by 7, and you only had 2 possessions, and you scored on one of them. You took the other possession to the 6-yard line before you turn it over on downs. The offense has to feel pretty good about themselves. They just haven't had the ball today.
So 2.2 seconds remain. Marietta with the football, 3rd and 20. Marietta at Capital's 44-yard line. Havens once again in the shotgun. He's got a wide receiver to the left and 3 wideouts to his right. He'll go back to pass. He'll look downfield. Plenty of time. He'll throw it deep. Much better spiral. And
oh, no.
And it was almost caught. Almost caught at the last moment by Malik Davis. Davis had his hands on the ball, but he dropped it at the last moment. I don't know if a Capital defender got his hand in there at the last moment, but boy, very, very close.
6'3" target. We saw Hyman make that one-handed grab earlier, and he had two hands on it. He's still shaking his head down there. Him and Davis looking at each other. I'm not sure if Davis popped it out of his hands or what happened there, but the 6'3" tight end had it above his head in his hands, and it just kind of came out there at the last second. And what a break for the Crusaders. Oh, my goodness.
So both teams will go to the locker room now. At the half, it is Marietta 14, Capital 7. Coming up, we'll have the Crusaders halftime show for you. We'll go over the stats. We'll check out scores around the OAC and much more. This is your home for Crusaders football, the Capital Sports Network.
Anytime from anywhere. Donato's also features a gluten-free menu and will even cater your next big event. Donato's Pizza in Bexley is located at 2800 East Main Street and is available by phone at 614-235-4477. Donato's Pizza, proud supporter of Capital Crusader Athletics.
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. College coaches work hard to beat their opponents, but now they're all on the same team to defeat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called Coach to Cure MD, and you can help. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE to 90999 and help coaches cure MD.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
It's the perfect sports bar because it's not just a sports bar.
I'm Gary Calico, founder and president of Rusty Bucket. A lot of families build their sports world around the bucket.
It's not just a guy's night out. You can bring your wife, you can bring your kids.
We get a lot of groups in after games.
Great place after the game.
Kids love to come here.
The Rusty Bucket Restaurant and Tavern.
The Rusty Bucket is a proud supporter of the Capital Crusaders. Visit us after the game at 2158 East Main Street and grab life by the bucket.
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. For 50 years, I've witnessed some of the greatest contests in college football. Young men in competition reaching for their potential at the highest level. But their courage is more than matched by another group of young men, the boys fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It is the most prolific genetic killer diagnosed in childhood, and there is no cure. But college football coaches are doing something about it, and you can help. It's called Coach to Cure MD. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill. Or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 today. And help the college football coaches cure MD. You'll be proud you joined the team.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging apply.
Brugger's Bagels has been bringing authentic New York-style bagels, breakfast foods, coffee, soups, and more to the world since 1983, and there is a location in Bexley ready to get your day started right. Located on 2510 East Main Street, Brugger's is open Monday through Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturdays and Sundays from 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Brugger's also can cater your next event and can be reached by phone at 614-236-4000. Brugger's Bagels is proud to support Capital University Athletics.
What is that bizarre contraption?
It's my latest Jimmy John's online ordering enhancement, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir. You know our popular Jimmy John's online ordering service?
Yes, click order eat.
This is the perfect time-saving companion.
How perfect, Ed?
Presenting the Jimmy John's F4000 three-dimensional sandwich printer.
Oh, boy.
See, we put these babies in the home of every Jimmy John's customer.
Uh-huh.
They order the sandwich online.
Uh-huh.
And we send a signal to the F4000 of their sandwich.
Ed, how much does one of these babies cost?
With the quantity discount, $50,000, sir.
And how long does it take to print a sandwich?
About 8 hours, sir.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
So back to the drawing board?
No, stay away from the drawing board, Ed.
This is a message for all those MBA seekers out there. For the junior exec who'd rather be senior. For the VP yearning to be CEO. And for everyone who'd call their job not just a profession, but a passion. Capital University's MBA program was built exclusively for professionals, experienced faculty, flexible schedules, and classmates you'll soon consider colleagues. Learn more at capital.edu/MBA. The Capital University MBA, for those driven to do more.
This is a message for the nurses among us, for those who dream of saving lives, for those who are driven to improve care, and for those ready to help heal what's broken, be it a single bone fracture or an entire hospital system. Capital University's advanced nursing programs are built for you. Engaged faculty, immersive learning, and intimate classes where you'll know everyone's name. To learn more, visit capital.edu/nursing. Advanced nursing at Capital University, for those driven to do more.
OSU Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Crusader student athletes by providing sports health services for Capital University athletics and student health services. Through the work and care of team physicians and athletic trainers, it's the team behind your team. For all fans, if you're looking to improve your physical performance, recover from an injury, or stay active for a lifetime, the experts at Ohio State Sports Medicine are there for you. Visit sportsmedicine.osu.edu or call 366-4332. Army ROTC is one of the best leadership courses in the country and can be a part of your college curriculum. As a potential or current student at Capital University, learning to become a leader will make your college experience even richer and prepare you for the future. Capital Army ROTC can provide scholarships and many more benefits to those who enroll, but the biggest benefit will be experienced firsthand after joining. For more information on Capital Army ROTC, testimonials, and an in-depth look at what the program can offer you, go to www.capital.edu/ROTC.
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. College coaches work hard to beat their opponents, but now they're all on the same team to defeat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called Coach to Cure MD, and you can help. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at CoachCureMD.org. Text the word CURE to 90999 and help coaches cure MD.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. For 50 years, I've witnessed some of the greatest contests in college football. Young men in competition reaching for their potential at the highest level. But their courage is more than matched by another group of young men, the boys fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It is the most prolific genetic killer diagnosed in childhood, and there is no cure. But college football coaches are doing something about it, and you can help. It's called Coach to Cure MD. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at CoachToCureMD.org. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 today, and help the college football coaches cure MD. You'll be proud you joined the team.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Brugger's Bagels has been bringing authentic New York-style bagels, breakfast foods, coffee, soups, and more to the world since 1983, and there is a location in Bexley ready to get your day started right. Located on 2510 East Main Street, Brugger's is open Monday through Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays from 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Brugger's also can cater your next event and can be reached by phone at 614-236-4000. Brugger's Bagels is proud to support Capital University Athletics.
This is a message for all those MBA seekers out there. For the junior exec who'd rather be senior. For the VP yearning to be CEO. And for everyone who'd call their job not just a profession, but a passion. Capital University's MBA program was built exclusively for professionals, experienced faculty, flexible schedules, and classmates you'll soon consider colleagues. Learn more at capital.edu/MBA. The Capital University MBA, for those driven to do more.
We are back here at Bernlor Stadium. Welcome into the Crusaders halftime show alongside Jimmy Bloomfield. I'm Charlie Danis. At the half, it is Marietta who holds a 14-7 lead over Capital. And Jimmy, let's now take a look at the stats. Let's first start with the Pioneers. And boy, oh boy, did they bring their rushing game to Bexley today. Nick O'Neill, 12 carries from the tailback position, 95 yards, no touchdowns. Lucas Havens, their quarterback, we'll get into him in just a moment. 8 carries, 55 yards, 1 touchdown. And Roger Bush, 9 carries, 45 yards, and 1 touchdown for the Florida native. Havens, 3 of 7 through the air for 26 yards. He has been sacked once in this game. 1 catch for Hunter Rotnick for 10 yards. Also 1 catch for 10 yards for Clay Moorfield, and 1 catch, Nick Hyman, a one-handed catch, I might add, for 6 yards. Meanwhile, for Capital, Nick Iskey is the leading rusher for the Crusaders. 8 carries, 57 yards. Brett Walton, 7 carries for 25 yards. Johnny Eaton, 1 carry for 16 yards. And Jake Brakey, 1 carry for 6 yards. Nick Iskey, 3 of 4 through the air for 34 yards. He does have a touchdown in this game. A 27-yard strike to Wally Brewer. And while we're on the topic of receivers, Skelton, Jake that is, 1 catch for 7 yards. And Zach Wyrick has 1 catch that went for no yards. Jimmy, you look at the overall stats from that first half. Not a lot of passing, but a whole lot of running.
Yeah, let's give some love to Derek Ebon as well, defensively for Cap. 10 tackles in that first half. Amazing half from him. A lot of gang tackling, and the middle linebacker is going to be in on a lot of those stops, obviously. On the run plays up the middle, you mentioned it, 36 carries for 221 yards for Marietta, 21 carries for 138 yards for Capital. The team totals there in the rushing department. And taking a look at kind of the story of how this half happened in terms of drives. First drive of the game area went 5 plays for 40 yards, and then turned it over on downs. Capital then got the ball back. They went 10 plays, 53 yards, took up 6 minutes of clock, didn't score as they turned it over on downs at the 6-yard line themselves. Then you need to go back to Marietta, and they had a 17-play, 91-yard touchdown drive.
That's a long, long drive.
Took up 9 minutes and 40 seconds, almost an entire quarter, 2/3 of a quarter. Capital gets the ball right back. They go 11 plays, 70 yards, get a touchdown themselves, 5 minutes, 32 seconds off the clock. Marietta gets it back again, and another 11-play, 87-yard drive, taking up 5 minutes and 56 seconds of clock there. So after the first possession for Marietta, each team possessed the ball for at least 5.5 minutes on their drives. 2 of them ended in touchdowns for Marietta. Only one ended in a touchdown for Capital. They then fumbled their kickoff. Marietta got the ball back at the end of the half, didn't really do anything with it, and the penalty didn't really hurt Capital. And here we stand now in a kind of a seesaw game. It's Capital's turn to get the ball first here in the half. Down by a touchdown, but really just holding serve right now if you look at it in terms of the drive charts.
Let's now take a look at scores around the OAC here. Get you caught up with scores around the Ohio Athletic Conference. This will be the final weekend of regular season play within the conference. And right now, Jimmy, we got ourselves a close ball game between Mount Union and John Carroll. The Blue Streaks only trail the Purple Raiders 10-3 at the half.
Wow, low-scoring game.
Other scores around the OAC. Ohio Northern with a commanding 28-0 lead over Otterbein at the half. They have just gone to the half at Muskingum. It's the Muskies leading Wilmington 35-26, and Baldwin Wallace leading Heidelberg 17-10 at the half. Well, more of the same, Jim. Looks like Mountain Union is going to be making the playoffs. John Carroll will also be making the playoffs as well. The last time you and I talked about the conference standings, there was a whole glut of teams up there at the top, not named John Carroll and Mountain Union, who were battling for that third position, so to speak. I think Otterbein was up there. Baldwin Wallace was up there as well. Since then, seems like Baldwin Wallace has gone up. Otterbein has gone down.
Now, Ohio Northern's in that conversation, too, at 6-2 themselves. John Carroll loses today. It's actually going to be a 3-way tie, it looks like, if all the scores hold at 7-2, whereas Mount Union will run away with it at 9. I know if John Carroll comes back and wins, they go 8-1. Mount Union goes 8-1. They win the head-to-head tiebreak. John Carroll wins the conference. So a lot to shake down in the last half of that game. It's really going to change standings. We're either going to have 3 teams tied for second, or John Carroll's going to win the conference, and we'll have 2 teams tied for third.
So Capital will get the ball to start the second half. Both of these teams, Marietta and Capital, 2-7 overall in the season, 2-6 within the OAC. Kickoff is away. And it is dropped and bobbled before it's eventually picked up by Preciado. Preciado to the 15, and he'll dive forward to the 20. And, boy, another near mishap on the kickoff return for Capital right there. They already have a fumbled kickoff that came towards the end of the second quarter.
Almost another nightmare there. In terms of the rankings, just finishing up on the OAC, Mountain Union obviously number 1 overall now. They started the season second, I believe, and they're now number 1. John Carroll clocks in at 15 for that matchup. And interestingly enough, Ohio Northern has also received votes in that poll, so they're probably ranked in the 30 to 40 range themselves.
So now 1st and 10, Capital at their own 20 line. And Nick Iskey still out there at quarterback. We haven't seen any signings of Zach Sheridan just yet. And Iskey keeps it. He'll try to spin forward for as much yardage as possible, but it'll be a minimal gain for the sophomore signal caller for Capital, as making the tackle was the linebacker for Marietta. That would be Darrell DeWint. DeWint, Georgia native, came into this game with 80 tackles on the season and 9 tackles for loss. Top 10 in terms of tackles within the OAC. I'm sure that Marietta is going to miss this young man in the middle of their defense. This will be his last game in a Pioneers uniform. So after the gain of 3, 2nd down and 7, Capital at their own 23-yard line. And the give is to Brent Walton. And Walton with an impressive run right there as he takes it to the 31-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play and a Crusader first down.
Time to get him going. 7 carries for 25 yards in that first half. Averaging 3.5 a carry, which isn't terrible, but for Brent Walton, Way less than what we've expected from him. Really didn't get the ball a lot either. He's usually a guy that's going to get 25, 30 carries, on pace for just 14.
Iskey with the pitch to the 30, to the 35, and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Wally Brewer, the senior from London, Ohio, with the carry, and he had a receiving touchdown in this game earlier.
Just taking what was there on that reverse. Good blocking by Waters on the outside again. As the wide receivers from this team, especially Skelton, best blockers I think that we've seen in a long time. Across the OAC, really. Skelton, I think, one of the best blockers as a wide receiver.
2nd and 2. After the gain of 8, Iskey puts a man in motion. The give is to Walton once again, but again, Walton doesn't find a lot of running room. He was stacked up initially by Dalton Seacrest, as he got a lot of help from his teammates later on, but it was Seacrest that initially blew the play up in the backfield.
It's tough for Walton to get going when Marietta has 7-minute drives on the other side of the field, and he really hasn't had an opportunity to be out there on the field at all.
3rd and 1, Capital at their own 40-yard line.
He's a guy that feeds off rhythm. He gets one carry, gets 5 yards, gets another one, just keeps kind of building on that last carry. He hasn't had any chance to kind of build that momentum.
Wide receiver to each side of the field. Walton is the B-back. Iskey will give to Walton, and he got tripped up at the last moment. Walton slams his hand to the turf in disgust. He gets the first down, but he knows in his heart of hearts that should have gone for a bigger gain.
He saw daylight in front of him and did not see the man kind of slip in behind him and trip up his ankles. He was pushing his lead blocker out of his way to kind of have Zach Bennington coming around on a pole, and he was trying to get Bennington to set a block on a linebacker downfield that would have sprung him, and didn't see the lineman come behind him and trip him up, and that's why he's so frustrated there. He would have had 20 yards easily.
A wide receiver to the left side, 2 wide receivers to the right side. Iskey once again under center. It's a man in motion. Now he'll run with it. He will dive forward, and he'll pick up a couple of yards on the play before being taken down once again by Dalton Seacrest. Seacrest, a 6'1", 275-pound sophomore from Bealsville, Ohio.
Like to see him go to the passing game here. 2nd and 8. Haven't really seen the passing offense since that first half.
Gain of 2 on that last play.
Doesn't look like they're going to it either. They come out in that traditional set. Sorry there, Charlie.
1 wide receiver to each side of the field. Johnny Eaton now is the B-back. Iskey will throw, and it is complete to Zach Wyrick at the 49-yard line of Marietta, and that will be enough for a Capital first down.
Yeah, listen, there it is. Nice little pass play there. And they throw out of their traditional kind of more of a flex bone look than a single back look. They've been spreading out the field a little bit, especially in that first possession with 4 wide receivers, really just moving the slot backs into the slot as receivers. Now they're more bunched up as we're used to seeing from Capital, going back to kind of their bread and butter look this first drive here of the second half.
1st and 10, Capital at Marietta's 49-yard line. Iskey with a play fake. Now he's running to his right, and now he'll dive forward to about the 45-yard line. Good pickup on the play by Iskey, as once again making the tackle is Dalton Seacrest, who, boy, it seems like he's making every defensive play out there from his defensive tackle position.
A lot going on that play. Lots of motion one way, coming back the other way with the ball. Had a man to pitch it to as well. And it got 5 yards, but it really didn't look like anything was developing there. There's a lot, again, was going on. A lot of confusion, it looked like, on both sides of the ball there. Results 4 yards for Cap.
Gain of 4 on that last play. 2nd down and 6. Capital at Marietta's 45-yard line. Iskey under center with 2 wide receivers to each side. Puts a man in motion. Eventually gives the ball to Brent Walton, who takes it to about the 42-yard line. As I slowly do the math in my head. Good pickup on the play by Walton, and this will set up a about a 3rd and 3 on this upcoming play.
Don't think too hard there, Charlie. Now 3rd and short. We've seen a lot of these in the first half. They went wide on a couple of them. I think they threw on one of them. And gone to Walton quite a bit as well. If I'm Marietta's defensive coordinator, I really have no clue what's coming at me right now. And that's what Capital's been doing with their play calling today.
A wide receiver to each side of the field. Iskey under center. 2 slot backs, and the B-back is Brent Walton. And the give is to Walton, but boy, Walton was bottled up from the start. Leading the charge was the senior captain, Darryl DeWint.
It's going to be a yard short, right at the 40. And that was a great initial lunge from Walton, and he just ran straight into a brick wall, bounced about 5 yards backwards, but got 2 on the carry. And here comes a big 4th and 1, down by 7 right now.
4th and 1. Capital at Marietta's 40-yard line. Approaching 9 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Marietta leading Capital 14-7. Iskey under center. 2 wide receivers on each side of the field. Brent Walton, he's the B-back. Now Waters is put in motion, and it looks as though Capital will take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 8:51 remaining in the third quarter. Marietta 14, Capital 7. This is your home for Crusader football, the Capital Sports Network.
Work hard to beat their opponents, but now they're all on the same team to defeat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called Coach to Cure MD, and you can help. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE to 90999 and help coaches cure MD.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Welcome back to Bernlohr Stadium. 8:51 remaining in the third quarter. Marietta 14, Capital 7. Charlie Danis and Jimmy Bloomfield bringing you the action today from Bexley, Ohio. Important 4th down coming up here for Capital. 4th and 1 at Marietta's 40-yard line. Iskey will go under center, and he will fake it to Walton, and he will dive forward for a first down. What a fantastic fake that was by Nick Iskey. He caught the defense off guard. He dives forward, and he keeps this offensive drive going for Capital.
And that's big pickup. Again, down by 7. You've taken so much time off the clock that if you don't pick up that first down, Marietta could march down with another long drive, score a touchdown, and all of a sudden we're in the fourth quarter in a 2-touchdown game. And it might be a little bit of a slippery slope to get to that point, but we've seen both these teams have 5, 6 minute, 7-minute drives every time they touch the football. You got to score when you get it.
1st and 10, Capital at Marietta's 37-yard line. Iskey fakes a toss, pump fakes, throws it deep downfield, and it is caught by Skelton.
What a grab.
He'll be down at the 1-yard line. What a tremendous catch as Skelton on his backside made the catch. I don't know if he was held or not on that play. He was battling for the ball with Masai McDaniel.
Quick tempo's coming. Candido was telling him to push and line up quickly.
Iskey under center. He'll push forward, and it looks like he got it in. Still waiting for a signal. Yes, he got it. Touchdown, Capital.
Going back to that catch by Skelton, he was absolutely just mauled on that play, running down the field from about the 20-yard line to where he caught the ball. Hands were all over him, and he somehow comes up with a catch. A great circus catch and a perfect ball thrown by Iskey, giving Skelton a great chance to rise and make that play.
Capital will go with the swing gate play, but they see nothing. So now they will attempt the good old-fashioned point after touchdown.
And where's this offensive explosion been? The little passing game. It's throwing a nice little ball there.
It's been nice to see those highlight plays come out of the Capital passing attack as Jack Johns converts the point after, and now we are tied once again as we go to break once again. 7:55 remaining in the third quarter. Marietta 14, Capital likewise. This is your home for Crusader football, the Capital Sports Network.
Keith Jackson. College coaches work hard to beat their opponents, but now they're all on the same team to defeat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called Coach to Cure MD, and you can help. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE to 90999 and help coaches cure MD.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. For 50 years, I've witnessed some of the greatest contests in college.
7:55 remaining in the third quarter, and we have our tied ball game once again. Capital and Marietta tied at 14 apiece, thanks to a rushing touchdown by Nick Iskey, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. So now Marietta will get the ball back. Alongside Jimmy Bloomfield, I'm Charlie Danis. We're so glad we could have you along for the ride for this presentation of Crusaders football here on the Capital Sports Network. A beautiful day here in Bexley as the sun continues to shine here at Bernlohr. Kick is away. And Bush takes it at the 15 to the 20 to the 25, close to the 30 before he is eventually taken down on the play. And that is where Marietta will start at about their 29-yard line. So both teams continue to grind out yards and grind out time on that clock, Jimmy.
Yeah, it'll be another, see if we get another long drive as we're midway through the third quarter. Marietta hasn't had a play in the second half in terms of the drive chart for that one for Cap. 13 plays, 80 yards. The third time today they've had at least a 10-play drive that went over 5.5 minutes.
First and 10, Marietta at their own 30-yard line. They give us to Bush to the 30 to the 35 as a little hop step there at the end of the play. And once again making the tackle is Derek Ebon, who's turned into a tackling machine here today. 5'11", 210-pound sophomore from Amherst, Ohio.
It doesn't look like a shootout right now. It's only 14-14, but both teams have virtually scored touchdowns every time they've touched it. We've seen no punts today either, Charlie.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard gain. Once again, they give us to Bush. And Bush, this time, is wrapped up near the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of only about one that time. Aaron Viscount, I saw, sticking his nose in there defensively. Viscount, one of 7 seniors honored before today's game.
That was one of the few times, too, that Capital really got a good push up front.
So now 3rd and 4.
They're going to run here. They're coming out passing, but they've been running out of this formation all day.
3 wide receivers to the left. Bush is still the tailback. Havens takes a snap. He will give to Bush, and Bush will break it to the 40, to the 45, and more than enough for another Marietta first down. As making the tackle on the play was Sean Fascione.
And Fascione is lucky. He just grabbed onto his ankle. And
Fascione, excuse me, by the way.
Yeah, he did not let go. He just grabbed onto Bush. And if Bush was able to break that little tackle on his ankle, he would have busted that thing for 40 yards.
So 1st and 10 after another big run by Bush. Marietta at their own 45-yard line. Coming up on 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Marietta and Capital tied at 14. Bush gets the handoff, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Aaron Viscount once again making the tackle on the play for Capital.
It seems like every time they get Marietta in that 3rd and long, 2nd and long situation, that's when they can't generate the pass rush that they, or excuse me, a run stop that they need, getting that penetration up front. And then on these first down plays, they seem to do a good job of stopping the run. And if they could kind of flip that script and get some of these 3rd down stops, it's going to go a long way.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2nd and 10. Marietta at their own 46-yard line. The keeper by Havens, and Havens to the 50 before he's eventually stacked up by virtually everybody on the Capital defense. Jimmy Curtis, namely among them.
Havens gave a fake on that handoff and then kind of hid behind his offensive line, kind of even crouched behind his left tackle before kind of cutting up field there. Here's that 3rd and 5 now. You need to get some kind of a push up front.
You have to try to stop them here on this play, definitely. 3rd and 5. Marietta barely in Capital territory. They're at Cap's 49-yard line.
A lot of confusion for Cap's defense.
Havens in the pistol. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. And Bush is still the tailback. Havens takes the snap. He'll fake it, and he will be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Making the play for Capital was Nick Wright. Boy, that looked like a miscommunication from the start between Havens and Bush. Just looked really discombobulated from up here, and Capital's defense is able to capitalize on that mistake.
Tim Seifert, he has 8 tackles today. He came in and timed that snap. Number 32 came at the bottom of the screen, ran right into the center of that line, which opened things up for Nick Wright to make the play. Timed that snap perfectly, was in the backfield as soon as the ball was snapped, blew that play up, and Nick Wright finished it off.
Punt is away, and boy, that was almost blocked. Now the fair catch is going to be called by Nick Waters, who holds on at about the 15-yard line.
That was Seifert again, almost blocking that punt, really timing that snap again, this time on special teams.
Tim Seifert, 5'11", 220-pound sophomore from Kettering, Ohio. He went to my dad's alma mater, Archbishop Alter, in the Dayton area.
9 tackles today. Ebon has 10. Garrigo with 7. And Fascione as well as Connor each have 6. A lot of big tackle numbers. That's going to happen when you run the ball virtually every play.
4:16 remaining in the third quarter. And we got ourselves a rather entertaining ball game here. Capital and Marietta tied at 14. We were expecting a much higher scoring game at this juncture, but hey, it's been a fun game thus far.
Hard to anticipate 8-minute drives every time the team touches it.
Walton to about the 25, and boy, that was very much not needed right there.
Yeah, Skelton tangled up
with Corey Hunsberger.
And we've seen that a lot today, a lot of extracurricular activity after whistles. There's been 3 total unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, 2 for Cap, 1 for Marietta in this game.
So,
last game of the year, getting a little chippy, I guess.
Yep. Got to leave it all out there on the field one last time here in 2015. 2nd and 3 after the nice game by Walton. Capital at their own 24-yard line. Iskey's under center. One wide receiver to the east side of the field. Once again, they give it to Walton. Walton with a little start step to the 30, and he will dive across the 35-yard line. Follows up a nice run with another nice run.
I'm giving him the ball one more time. Just keep riding him right now. 13 carries for 47 yards before that last carry. Still averaging under 4 yards a pop. He's a guy that obviously is a prolific runner in this offense. Kind of offense goes as he does, and they've been doing it in spite of him today. If he can add into the little fun that's going on right now, this offense is going to take that next step to the next level.
1st and 10. Capital at their own 37-yard line. Coming up on 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Walton to the 40, spinning towards the 45-yard line as he continues his tough running. This will be a pickup of 8 on the play. Marietta and Capital tied at 14.
Eaton's coming in now. I think he's going to spell Walton after that last carry. Give him a little breather. Give him the ball again once he gets back out there.
So Brent Walton, the Pickerington, Ohio native, gives up a spot to the freshman from Wapakoneta, Ohio, Johnny Eaton. 2nd and 1. Capital at their own 46-yard line. Almost in the middle of the Capital crest at midfield. Iskey puts Waters in motion. He'll fake it to Eaton, and Iskey will dive forward, and he'll have enough, barely, for a first down.
Both quarterbacks have over 50 yards on the ground today and a touchdown for each of them. That's something we expected in the pregame. So we got something right.
Coming up on 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Still got a tied ball game between Marietta and Capital.
Iskey also 5 of 6, 78 yards through the air.
This has probably been the best I have seen Nick Iskey throw the football. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. That throw to Skelton was the best throw I've seen him throw. He put it in a great spot. Skelton deserves credit for going up and making a play on it as well, especially as he's getting mugged running down the field. But he made a fantastic adjustment on that ball in the air. Iskey put it in a spot where he could go up and make a play.
1st and 10, Capital at their own 48-yard line, and now flags are going to be thrown all over the field as looks like Capital wasn't able to get the play off in time. Actually, hold on. Timeout was taken by Capital at the last moment. You know what? Let's take a timeout as well. 1:40 to play in the third quarter. Capital and Marietta tied 14 all. This is Capital football here on the Capital Sports Network.
I'm Keith Jackson. College coaches work hard to beat their opponents, but now they're all on the same team to defeat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called Coach to Cure MD, and you can help. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE to 90999 and help coaches cure MD.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Welcome back to Bernlohr Stadium. 1:40 to play here in the third quarter. Capital and Marietta tied at 14. This is Crusaders football here on the Capital Sports Network. Charlie Danes, Jimmy Bloomfield bringing you the action from a beautiful day here in Bexley, Ohio. Beautiful day here in early November. Iskey with the pitch, and now the ball is loose. It's still on the turf. Still battling for it. And let's see who was able to come up with it. Marietta is pointing in their direction. They think they've got the football. Let's see what the call is going to be right there. Oh, boy, man, that just looked ugly from the start.
There was a defender from Marietta who had the ball and then kind of rolled over. It was the defensive end, Thomas Hinkle.
And Capital, fortunately, keeps possession of the football. Wow.
Hinkle had it, and then at the last second there, it looks like Skelton was the one who came up with it.
Yep.
Hinkle rolled over the ball, and Capital, it's a huge break. I don't know if that's on Iskey there because he threw it off of Eaton, who was the lead blocker on that pitch play. So I'm kind of thinking that Eaton was in the way of that pitch and was not supposed be there. But either way, Iski's got to kind of look and see that there's a man in the way.
And boy, after all that melee, that was only a loss of 5. Iski once again running with it, and not much on the play as he is eventually taken down by Joe Ortega.
They didn't lose much on that. They didn't lose much on that play because Eaton, when it hit him, he was at the line of scrimmage. That play was going for a positive gain. Iski was already 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage ahead of the line of scrimmage when he threw it backwards. And again, he must have not seen Eaton in the way. It hit Eaton in the back. Eaton wasn't even looking and was not supposed to receive the pitch. So there's some kind of miscommunication there with the lead blocker that led to that loss. And now 3rd and long. Let's see if they air it out or go conservative.
21 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. Iski puts Preciado in motion. He'll now go back to pass. Nick Iski looking, now scrambling for his life. To his right. He will throw it at the last moment, but it will be incomplete as he was trying to hit one of his wide receivers on the near side of the field.
As Preciado came back to the ball, so it's not grounding. Took a vicious shot going out of bounds as he threw that ball away. They wanted to take their shot. Preciado was covered. Skelton was covered. Iski had no choice but to kind of run for his life there, and then the play just breaks down, and we're going to have an exciting fourth quarter after this punt.
So now Keegan Earl comes on to punt the football away for Capital. Back to receive the kick for Marietta. 5'9", 186-pound freshman from Houston, Texas, Ben Hawkins.
Marietta's coming after this thing.
Irwin gets it away at the last moment. Hawkins will fair catch it, and it goes out of bounds. Well, not one of Keegan's best punts.
He was really forced into kicking the thing before he wanted to. Again, said they were coming, and they came hard there through the right through the floodgates, and luckily was able to just get it down the field a little bit.
2.1 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, so Marietta will have time for one more play before we head to the fourth quarter.
Might as well take a shot. Not going to lose any time off the clock or anything like that.
Capital and Marietta still tied at 14. Havens in the pistol. A wide receiver to each side of the field, and his tailback is Roger Bush. Havens hands off to Bush. Bush is met by Ebon after a gain of 2, and that will take us to the fourth quarter. Boy, we're in for an exciting fourth quarter here at Bernlohr Stadium. Capital and Marietta tied at 14 apiece. This is Crusaders football here on the Capital Sports Network.
Junior exec who'd rather be senior, for the VP yearning to be CEO, and for everyone who'd call their job not just a profession, but a passion. Capital University's MBA program was built exclusively for professionals, experienced faculty, flexible schedules, and classmates you'll soon consider colleagues. Learn more at capital.edu/MBA. The Capital University MBA, for those driven to do more.
This is a message for the nurses among us, for those who dream of saving lives, for those who are driven to improve care, and for those ready to help heal what's broken, be it a single bone fracture or an entire hospital system. Capital University's advanced nursing programs are built for you. Engaged faculty, immersive learning, and intimate classes where you'll know everyone's name. To learn more, visit capital.edu/nursing. Advanced nursing at Capital University, for those driven to do more.
We are back here at Bernlohr Stadium. Game set to start action in the fourth quarter. Marietta and Capital tied at 14 apiece. Alongside Jimmy Bloomfield, I'm Charlie Danis. This is the Crusaders football on the Capital Sports Network. Havens in the pistol formation for Marietta. The give is to O'Neal, and O'Neal is wrapped up in the backfield. He's tackled back at the 35-yard line. Jimmy Curtis tripping him up at the last moment. Also combining in on the tackle was Eric Strosky.
That was a bad exchange. The handoff was at almost a helmet level on O'Neal there, and it kind of took him by surprise. He didn't bobble the ball, but it did have to adjust his hands, which slowed him down and allowed the penetration to get to him. I think if that's a cleaner handoff, he's going to get that edge.
Loss of a couple. That'll bring up a 3rd and 9 for Marietta at the 36-yard line.
These plays have been converted by Marietta almost every time today. Timeout.
Timeout is going to be taken, let's see here, by by Capital.
Out of timeouts.
Last timeout of the game for Capital.
Again, these 3rd and longs, they've gotten Marietta into plenty of them today, but they've picked them up because they come out in these passing formations, and the Crusaders are really respecting that pass, but they haven't stopped anything on the ground on these 3rd and longs, and they've run read option. They've run simple stretch handoffs out of a pistol. That's been successful today. Havens is 3 of 7 throwing the ball today. He has no ability to really throw the ball downfield from what we've seen. And this season, he's under 50% completion. I'm stacking the box. I don't care if they come out 5 wide. Stack the box and make them throw the football here on 3rd and long.
Let's get you caught up with scores around the OAC here quickly. Muskingum leading Wilmington 35-26 with 11:38 to play in the 3rd quarter. 13:40 to play in the 3rd quarter at John Carroll. Blue Streaks trail Mount Union 16-3. Ohio Northern leads Otterbein 28-3 in the 3rd quarter. And Baldwin Wallace still with a 17-10 lead over Heidelberg as they begin action in the 2nd half. 3rd down and 9. Marietta at their own 36-yard line. Havens in the pistol formation takes the snap. And he will now run up the middle to the 40, to 45. He will dive across the 45-yard line and pick up another 1st down as these 3rd down conversions continue to be a positive for the offense and a big negative for the Capital defense.
That was designed all day. They just sent the receivers downfield. He had no interest in throwing the football. There was no one even looking for the ball. Havens just wanted to draw the secondary downfield to come through on a quick quarterback draw. There's going to be a false start on the left side of the line.
False start. Looks as though it'll be on Trevor Rake, the left tackle for Marietta. Again, Jimmy, we were just talking about this earlier, how it is so frustrating for Capital getting Marietta in these 3rd down and long situations, obvious passing down situations, but instead Marietta has been victimizing them on the ground.
I don't understand why they continue to respect the pass. They haven't done anything through the air. Make them beat you through the air.
1st and 15 now after the penalty. Marietta backed up to its own 41-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right. Havens in the pistol, and O'Neal is the tailback. Havens will keep it. Havens with a stiff arm at first, but staying with the play was J.R. Garrigo. Well done, young man.
That was awesome. Garrigo's getting stiff armed to the ground and comes up and grabs the shoulder pad of the quarterback, Havens, and just brings him to the ground. Awesome strength there from Garrigo.
I will see your stiff arm and raise you with a hard tackle to the turf.
It looks like a face mask almost, but he grabbed him right on the shoulder pad and twisted him.
So only a gain of 2 after that nice tackle by Garrigo. Boy, he's going to be a good player for Capital in the future. 2nd down and 13. The keeper, and a hard hit at the 50-yard line. And still moving with the ball was Havens as he takes it into Capital territory along the 48-yard line.
Boy, inside linebacker from Capital got punked there because Havens was already across the line of scrimmage and faked a pass to his left, which spun that man around, and then he was able to get 4 or 5 more yards because of that pump fake. As you see on the replay of this tackle by Garrigo, just grabbing the shoulder pad and twisting him to the ground. That was back on that first down carry after the false start. Here we go, 3rd and 4. See if they stack the box this time.
Marietta Capital's 48-yard line, 12-10 remaining in the 4th quarter. Capital and Marietta tied at 14. Havens in the pistol formation. He'll take the snap. He'll hand to O'Neal. And O'Neal's going to be stuffed at about the 45-yard line to get to the 44. So Marietta will be about a yard short as making the tackle on the play was Vince Austin.
And they gave him 3 or 4 attempts on efforts to push the pile there. Usually you only get 1 or 2 before they call it dead. Quick snap coming.
Marietta with a quick snap and more than enough for the 1st down, but a flag has been thrown.
I'm thinking that's got to be some sort of illegal formation, maybe 12 men for one side or the other. The field judge all the way down here on the near sideline threw it, so I don't think it's a false start or anything like that. It has to be something procedural.
Well, judging by Corey Candido's reaction on the sideline, I think this might be going against Capital. We'll just have to see.
Still waiting. They spot the ball at the 40-yard line, which is 5 yards forward.
It's against Capital. I kind of knew that the penalty was against Capital because all you had to do was read the body language. Corey Candido just throwing his hands up like...
Was that encroachment? Is that what they called it?
Yes, I believe so.
Makes sense. Again, from where that flag was thrown, it had to be something procedural, like I said, and maybe someone lined up in the neutral zone, and that's what happens.
11:21 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Marietta and Capital tied at 14. First and 10. Pioneers at the Capital 40-yard line. The give is to Bush. Bush, couple yards, maybe 2 on the play.
Big pickup for Marietta on that fourth down, kind of like Capital on their last drive right midfield.
This game kind of has the feel of whoever has the ball last is going to win this game.
Whoever makes a play on defense is
yes,
going to win the game.
So a gain of 2 on that last play for Bush. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Marietta at Capital's 38-yard line. Both teams have done a great job possessing the football and going on these long drives.
Holding serve, really. Every time they get the ball, you got to get in the end zone. That's the key to this game.
Havens in the pistol. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Roger Bush is his tailback. Havens calling for the snap. He gets it, and he will fake it to Bush. He'll now dive forward across the 35 to about the 33-yard line. Jimmy Curtis making the tackle.
Sorry, there's a lot of late pushing still going on. We saw a couple penalties in the first half, and officials really play. But some of these exchanges after the play, either side really has to be careful. You don't want a penalty on shoving after a play to decide a drive that decides the game. 3rd and 3 again. Another 3rd down.
Marietta at Capital's 43-yard line, under 10 minutes to play. Capital and Marietta tied at 14. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Pistol formation. And the give is to Bush, and Bush is going to nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. As he was stacked up at about the 32-yard line, he needed to get to 30. Ben Heilman making the tackle.
A good job finally as Marietta was 6 for 9 on 3rd downs and in that last 3rd down, so now 6 for 10. Let's see what they've got for this big 4th down. Capital stop. They could have a nice little long drive and put this game away.
No question, Marietta's going for it here in Brescia, their place kicker. His long is 23. The ball is at the 33-yard line. A wide receiver to each side of the field. A 4th down and 3. Marietta at Capital's 33-yard line. Snap back and a play fake, running to his left and picking up another 1st down is Havens as he scrambled to his left. He got the ball to the 29-yard line when he only needed to get it to the 30.
And there was a man in that area that was guarding a tight end and did not leave his man. He let Havens run right by him. Leave your man. Make him throw the football. He has not thrown all day. He's not going to throw. He's been pump faking on these rollouts, but what are you biting at? He's not going to throw the football. He's been running every time.
8:43 counting here in the fourth quarter. Marietta is driving. They're tied with Capital at 14. Havens once again under center. He'll give to Bush. Bush to the 25. Spins his way towards the 21-yard line. Pickup of 8 on that play by the junior from Palm Bay, Florida. Jimmy Curtis in on the tackle for Capital.
Some fresh bodies up front coming on from Capital. Much needed reinforcements. They've been getting gashed on the ground today. 45 attempts for 249 yards.
2nd and 2. Marietta at Capital's 21-yard line as we are approaching 8 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Capital and Marietta tied at 14. Havens once again in the pistol. 2 wide receivers to the right. Havens will he will keep it, and he will shed a tackle to the 20, down to the 15-yard line before finally being taken down by Jimmy Curtis.
He won the battle with Garrigo that time. That was Garrigo again. He got stiff-armed again. Wasn't able to hang on, and Havens gets upfield once again. That's 47 rushing attempts for Marietta and just 7 pass attempts today. And now Havens has over 100 on the ground. You got O'Neal at 99 on 15 attempts, and you've got Bush with 71 on 16 attempts.
257 rushing yards on the day for Marietta. Goodness. A lot of yards on the ground today for the Pioneers. 1st and 10, actually 1st and goal from the Capital 10-yard line. Bush takes it into the end zone. He went to his right, then cut it back to his left. Wide open spaces for Roger Bush. And now Marietta is an extra point away from taking a 7-point lead.
13-play, 65-yard drive. Goes over 7.5 minutes again. Their 3rd drive of over 11 plays. So you take a look at both sides. Each side has 3 drives of over 10 plays and 55 yards in over 5.5 minutes on each side of the ball.
Roger Bush with touchdowns number 11 and 12 on the ground today. The kick is good, but barely by the place kicker, Jimmy Embrescia. So let's take one last commercial break here. 7:15 to play here in the fourth quarter. Marietta 21, Capital 14. This is your home for Crusader football, the Capital Sports Network.
For those who dream of saving lives, for those who are driven to improve care, and for those ready to help heal what's broken, be it a single bone fracture or an entire hospital system. Capital University's advanced nursing programs are built for you. Engaged faculty, immersive learning, and intimate classes where you'll know everyone's name. To learn more, visit capital.edu/nursing. Advanced nursing at Capital University, for those driven to do more.
7:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Marietta, once again with a 7-point lead. They lead Capital 21-14 thanks to another rushing touchdown by Roger Bush. So now Capital has a chance here to respond offensively. Both these teams holding nothing back. Both teams with rather disappointing seasons, 2-6 within the OAC. They're just looking to end 2015 on a good note. Kick it away. Taking it at the 20, to the 25, to about the 30. Ball popped out, but out of bounds at the last moment. Whew.
Third fumble on the kickoff, actually, today. They lost one of them at the end of the half. The first half here, they had another one that was fumbled and picked up, and now another fumble. Special teams. Whew.
Hunter Smith was the one returning the ball for Capital, and he just got lit up, plain and simple, on the kickoff. And fortunately for him, the ball went out of bounds. So Capital keeps possession, 1st and 10 at the Crusader 28-yard line. Capital needs points. There's no other way to put it. Iskey will be under center. Walton will be the slot back. A receiver to each side of the field. Iskey will put a man in motion. Now he'll give to Walton. To the 35, to the 40. Pushing his way to the 45-yard line. An impressive run by Brent Walton, and that'll be a first down for the Crusaders.
Give this man the ball. He's now the leading rusher for Cap today. 16 carries, and depending on how many yards he got there, about 20 it looks like, maybe a little bit shy of that. He's going to be around 80 yards.
1st and 10, Capital already at their own 45-yard line. Iskey once again under center. He'll put Wally Brewer in motion. He'll go back to pass. He'll throw. Hit as he throws. And had a man wide open on the far side of the field. But because of the hit in the backfield, the ball goes over the head of Nick Waters.
There was 2 players from Cap and 2 from Marietta down that sideline. And both defenders went after Skelton, leaving Waters wide open. And again, that throw sailed on him because he got hit as he threw it. And the defensive line bails out the terrible coverage. Walton now at 16 for 86 officially after that 17-yard pickup 2 plays ago.
2nd and 10, Capital at their own 45-yard line still. Now they give to Walton. Walton to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, inside the 32, about the 27-yard line. Yeah, I'm with you, Jimmy. Keep giving this guy the ball.
Yeah, that's a 32-yard pickup, no big deal there. And that is well over 100 yards. And after a very slow first half in which he had just 27 yards on 7 carries, he's come out here in this half, 10 carries, and he's got over 100 in this half alone.
1st and 10, Capital now at Marietta's 29-yard line. 6:05 to play here in the fourth quarter. Capital trailing Marietta 21-14. A wide receiver to each side of the field. Iskey under center. Walton is the B-back. Jake Brakey's put in motion. Now the give is to Eaton, actually. Eaton's the B-back to the 15, out of bounds. A nice run by Johnny Eaton as he spells Walton on the play.
He's got 30 yards on 2 carries, so, yeah, he's done a fantastic job. The only real mistake was that fumble on that option play where he kind of was in the wrong position, or maybe it was Iskey's fault. We're not really sure whose fault it was, but really the ball was just thrown off of Eaton. But he's had 2 nice carries today. On that first carry, he tripped over himself, remember, running through that hole, and almost broke that one for 25 instead of just 16. He's in there again.
Iskey will once again go under center, right behind Will Weir. A wide receiver to each side of the field for Capital. Waters put in motion. The give to Eaton once again. Eaton got tripped up initially, but he'll dive across the 10-yard line inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line.
Well, if this is Walton's successor, they found a nice one. He knows what he's doing. He gets really downhill. And a good job. I believe in that John Kittle game, he took over pretty much that whole game. Had almost 30 carries in that game. Got over 100 yards.
Because Walton was hurt with turf toe, and Isaiah Lyle, Walton's backup at the time, was dealing with body cramps.
It's a real tough matchup placing John Carroll in your first game. He had 100 yards.
Yeah, welcome to the OAC, young fella. Iskey will
yeah.
give to Walton, and Walton will dive forward to about the 6-yard line. So that'll be a gain of about 3 as we're coming up on 4.5 to play here in the fourth quarter.
That was a beautiful play design of using a little bit of a hitch step before giving Walton the ball on a counter. 3rd and 2 coming.
And a very important third down here for Capital. They trail Marietta 21-14, 4:16 and counting.
This is no time to get cute. You got 2 plays to get 2 yards. Give it to your B back and let him make some things happen.
The main goal is to get the ball into the end zone right now. Iskey will go under center. A wide receiver to each side of the field. Walton to be back. Man in motion. Iskey fakes it. He will dive forward, and he is very near a first down. He's at the 5, but I think they needed to get it to the 4.
I don't think that was the design of the play either. I think they blew the play up, and Iskey just pushed forward instead of trying to hand it off.
Well, this is a game right here. 4th down and 1. Capital at Marietta's 5-yard line, coming up on 3.5 to play here. And by the way, Capital has no timeouts, so you have to run this play regardless of what happens.
Just sneak it.
2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Walton is the B-back. Iskey under center, takes the snap. He's going to scramble to his right. He will dive forward, and he didn't get it.
Oh, man.
Capital gets stopped on a 4th and 1 play. It looked initially like Iskey wanted to throw the ball, but everybody was covered, so he had no choice but to try to run with it. Marietta snuffed it out.
What do you think of that?
I think, honestly, it was the wrong play call.
Oh, man. They try to go, again, they try to get cute. They try to confuse them, and none of those routes were really quick routes. If you're going to throw it, I think at least try to hit him on a slant or maybe a bubble screen or something there. But I don't know how you don't give the ball to Brent Walton. Walton is really upset on the sideline right now. Just threw a water bottle down. He's sitting on the bench. I think he wanted the football.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I mean, Jimmy, we have covered Capital football for a couple years. If there was ever a player in which you depend upon for picking up big first downs in short yard situations, it's Brent Walton.
He's got 10 carries this half for almost 80 yards.
Hold on a minute. O'Neal is tackled in the backfield to about the 4-yard line. Well, hold on, Jimmy. This game isn't over just yet. Under 3 minutes to play here. Capital still down by a touchdown.
If my math's right, they're going to need, I think, 1 or 2, maybe 2 first downs. I think 1 would do it, but maybe a second would definitely put it away for Marietta. They're going to trick this thing down. They can run it all the way down to 220 if they want before they can snap this ball here.
Boy, if there was ever a time to stack the box right here, this would be it because, like you
dare
saying,
him
Jimmy,
to throw it.
Yes.
I wouldn't even guard receiver downfield. Just hope that you get to the quarterback before he's able to throw it if that's going to be your strategy.
2nd and 12. Marietta back at his own 4-yard line. They give it to O'Neal, and O'Neal once again is tripped up as he dives forward to about the 5-yard line. So that'll only be a pickup of 1 on the play.
And this is huge. There's an injured player for Marietta down, and they're going to have to stop the clock and call a timeout. So this is a huge break for Capital as the clock's going to stop due to the injury.
And trying to get up, and eventually, nope.
Nope, he's not going to be able to make it under his own power. He's
still bent over, still trying to find a number on that player.
Looks like it's obviously one lineman. Is
that A.J. Epley, the left guard?
I think it's number 52, the right tackle, Mitch
Balata. Yep, from Mason, Ohio.
And yeah, that's who it is. It's the right tackle, and he's making his way off the field right now.
Oh man, what a break right there for Capital. You always have to stop the clock after an injury.
Freshman right tackle now in the game as well with Peyton Henderson replacing him. So now you've got a little bit of a weakness on that right side of the line, and Connor, who's been the best guy up front for Capital today, is matched up on him right now. Let's see if he can wreak havoc here, get into the backfield.
3rd and 11. Marietta at its own 5-yard line. Capital needs a defensive stop in the worst way. Trail Marietta 21-14.
They come out shotgun, but they're not throwing this football. Do not even think for a second they're throwing this football.
Havens gives off. No, they'll throw it over the middle. And it's a fumble. And let's see, it's going to be an incomplete pass, which stops the clock.
All right. Now they're going to say he caught it and then was down as he extended the football.
Got it, okay.
I can't believe they threw the ball. I'm literally shocked. But it was caught by the tight end there.
Nick Hindman.
Yeah, number 17.
Who had a
Nick
nice
Hindman.
one-handed catch earlier in the game.
And Hindman makes the catch and then tried to extend the ball for a first down. Apparently thought his arms were 4 yards long because he was 4 yards short.
So this brings up a 4th down for Marietta, and the Pioneers are just going to try to run the clock out as much as they can here.
Yeah, the clock is going to stop. I'm assuming they're going to call a timeout, and it'll stop the clock at 1:10 or so.
Yep. 2, 1. Or are they going to take the penalty right here? No, they're taking the timeout.
They called the timeout.
Okay.
Coach was standing right next to the referee there.
1:10 remaining in the 4th quarter. Capital needs a touchdown, and they have forced a punt here.
And this is the big decision now for Candido. Do you go for this block, being that it's going to be coming from virtually the end zone, or do you try to set up a return instead? The return game on the kick returns has been awfully shaky today. This will be, I believe, the 2nd punt for Marietta today. And I don't know. I think I send the house. I think you do. I think you tell them, make sure you do not rough the punter if you're going to do that. That's the flip side of it. You kind of put yourself at more of a risk for that kind of a situation to occur. But really, you haven't had any kind of explosive return in the last 2 years that has been going for a touchdown. To my memory, I can't remember a punt return touchdown. Remember a big interception return for a touchdown, but nothing in the special teams game.
That was Joe Rodriguez in Wilmington.
Yeah, so I think I'm going for this block. They do have 2 returners, though, back.
Eddie Preciado is back there as well as Nick Waters for Capital.
Yeah, I think they're going for the return. Not entirely sure, as Garrigo looks like he might be trying to time this thing.
Waiting for the snap. And almost blocked.
Bad punt, though, either way.
And Waters will fair catch it at Marietta's 40-yard line. 1:03 remaining in the 4th quarter. Wow. How about that?
It was again, the player from Capital who came in was number 32, Tim Seifert, who's been having a freaking fantastic game coming through. He has now 8 tackles on the day, and he's been timing that snap beautifully. Almost blocked that first punt. Gets the second block, almost blocked again, and that punt was so short. Capital going to have 40 yards to work with.
1st and 10. Capital at Marietta's 40-yard line. No timeouts for the Crusaders, by the way. Iskey will go back to pass. He'll throw down the field, and it is out of the reach of Zach Wyrick, but there was a lot of contact.
That was a hold, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wyrick's hands were being held behind his back like he was getting arrested.
Christian Mayola was the one on the covers for Marietta.
Oh, that's unbelievable how they missed that call. His hands were literally being held behind his back. He couldn't run. He couldn't extend his arms at all. It wasn't interference, but certainly defensive holding. I don't know how they missed that. That's the same man that was guarding Skelton on his big catch today.
58.3 seconds remaining in regulation. Capital trailing Marietta 21-14. 2nd down and 10. Crusaders at Marietta's 40-yard line. Iskey once again will go back to pass. He will throw, and it is incomplete. And Wally Brewer was his intended target, but he was thrown to the ground.
Yeah, he was held too, and so was Skelton on this side, on the near side as well. Same culprit, number 5 from Marietta.
Christian Mayola.
Again, guarding Skelton, that time holding him. There's been so much holding in the secondary. Yeah, if I'm Candido, I'm going to the official right now. Just pick a guy to look at. They're all holding us.
3rd and 10. 2 incomplete passes by Nick Iskey.
I might go run here. I know you don't have a lot of time, but you've got to get a first down to keep this game going. You got to get some kind of positive yards.
Well, doesn't matter at this point, Jimmy. A pass or run. Crusaders need a first down. Iskey will go back to pass. He will throw up a pass. It is going to be caught by Skelton at the 20-yard line. Down to the 15, out of bounds. Clutch. Catch that time by Skelton, the senior.
Even clutcher to stay on his feet and then somersault out of bounds. Amazing play by Skelton.
Oh, man.
And that's going to allow them to huddle and really take their time. The clock's going to be stopped through this whole catch.
45.9 seconds to work with in regulation.
You can go run now. You have time. You just have to get you have to have 2 plays called. If you're going to run the football, you have to line it up real quickly. But with the way Iski's been throwing it, I think they might just go throw again.
1st and 10. Capital at Marietta's 15-yard line. A wide receiver to each side of the field. Iski will throw into the end zone. Touchdown, Nick Waters!
Unbelievable. They get the stop. Special teams comes up big. Offense finishes the job. That's doing it on 3 different facets of the game. And they're going to go for the 1. I saw a coach put up the 1. They are at home. I think if you're at Marietta, you go for 2. That's usually what they say. If you're on the road, you go for 2. Here at home, you might be going to some overtime action.
Jack Johns in on the point after, a very important point after. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is on the way, and it is good. We are tied at 21 apiece with 41.3 seconds to go. A 15-yard touchdown reception by Nick Waters has tied this game.
Awesome. Just an awesome 3 minutes there from Capital. Defense comes up big, get huge stops. Special teams forces a bad punt. And then Nick Iski getting it done through the air. They didn't call one run play that entire drive. Iski's now 7 for 12, 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. You got receivers being held pretty much on every play, and they still are able to find a way to get open for Iski there. And a huge play by Jake Skelton setting up each of the last 2 touchdowns for Capital. Had a big 37-yard catch on a jump ball that he was tackled at the 1-yard line. And then on that last drive, comes up with a huge catch on 3rd and 10. Stays on his feet somehow, just using the man guarding him to balance him. And then he somersaults out of bounds, allows them to call a nice little play. Keep a composed huddle going because he can get out of bounds to stop the clock. Wow. And then you come up with that play call to get Waters wide open. And good patience from Iski, too, because he could have ran and got about 7 or 8 yards, but instead he waited and patiently waited for that route to finish.
Jimmy, what do you do on this kickoff here if you're Capital?
Well, I mean, the returner is that freshman who made that bad mistake. Remember last time when he tried to catch the ball on the sideline when he could have just let it go out of bounds. I don't try to get too cute and squib this thing either. Marietta really hasn't done anything passing the football today. I think you just conventionally kick this thing off and cover it well.
Hawkins and Bush back to receive the
There
kick.
you go. Just bang it through the end zone. That's what you do.
Touchback for Jack Johns.
And don't underrate the value of what he just did there. You don't give them a chance to make a play on a special teams. And, again, their offense has done nothing through the air all day. And again, now I want to say load up the box and make him throw it. But, obviously, with 40 seconds left, you play for OT here. 2 timeouts for Marietta. Their kicker used has a long of 23 yards this season. Just play conventional defense. Keep everything in front of you. Keep everything in bounds. That's the strategy here.
Tied at 21 between Capital and Marietta. 41.3 seconds to go.
If you get a shot at an interception, though, you take it.
Marietta at its own 25-yard line. Back to pass is Havens. Havens will throw it, and it is off the fingertips of Bush. Incomplete.
Now, here's where you got to be careful. If you're Marietta, if you throw two more quick incompletions, you're going to save Cap a little bit of time. Probably only be about 25 seconds, but greater things have happened. I don't know. I don't like taking a knee conventionally, but I think I need this thing out and play for OT right now.
36.3 seconds to go in regulation. 2nd down and 10 now for Marietta. Still at their own 25-yard line. A wide receiver to the left. 2 wide receivers to the right. Havens in the pistol formation with Bush. Havens. Play fake. He will look deep downfield, and it's caught at the 40-yard line. No, it's incomplete.
Oh, man.
It was busted up at the last moment by Jordan Duncan. The intended receiver on the play was Alex Smith.
Smith's got to hang on to that football across midfield. That was a good ball by Havens, put it in a nice catchable spot. You can see the replay. I don't know how he didn't hang on to it. Must have lost the ball as he was going to the ground there, as we saw it squirt out pretty late. Good coverage, tight coverage on that play.
Well,
and again, it's 29 seconds left.
I will be absolutely shocked if Marietta throws the ball here on this play.
If you run it, Capital cannot stop the clock.
3rd and 10. Havens will give it to Bush. They will run it, and he will be stopped at the 30-yard line as Bush hurdled a Capital defender.
Trying himself killed, it looks like, jumping over Estes there, and then just set himself up for a gigantic hit. He gets 5 yards, and again, Capital can't stop the clock. We're going to OT here at Burnmore.
Overtime here in Bexley. At the end of regulation, it is Capital 21, Marietta 21. You're listening to Crusaders football. You're on the Capital Sports Network.
Curriculum. As a potential or current student at Capital University, learning to become a leader will make your college experience even richer and prepare you for the future. Capital Army ROTC can provide scholarships and many more benefits to those who enroll, but the biggest benefit will be experienced firsthand after joining. For more information on Capital Army ROTC, testimonials, and an in-depth look at what the program can offer you, go to www.capital.edu/ROTC.
Welcome back here to Burnmore Stadium. Well, it's the season finale, and folks, guess what? We have overtime football to bring to you. Marietta and Capital tied at 21. A late touchdown grab by Nick Waters is the play that sent this game into overtime for Capital, and it looks like Marietta will get the ball first. Actually, wait a second. 1.5 seconds have been put back on the clock?
Oh, wow. They
Okay.
must have called a timeout with 1 second left. Okay.
Havens in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He'll throw, and it is caught by the tight end Hindman. A lateral.
That was forward.
And a incomplete pass is ruled as he was trying to get back to Havens.
Well, I don't know if I go to a gadget play where a fumble could result, but that's what they do. And now we're going to overtime. Get a little bit ahead of ourselves, I guess. Didn't see the timeout called there.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I thought we were heading to overtime. Well, let's get right here at Burnmore Stadium as we get you set here for the extra time here in Bexley. Both these teams playing an overtime game for the first time in a while. The last time Marietta had to go to extra time, they beat Baldwin Wallace 37-31 back on September 16th of 2006. That only lasted 1 overtime. As the shadows continue to creep on in here for Capital.
So this will be interesting now. Remember, both teams is going to get a chance to score, and obviously the advantage goes to the defense here because if you get to defend first, you can make a stop, then your offense only needs a field goal. If you give up a touchdown, then your offense knows it has to score a touchdown, so you get 4 downs to work with essentially. So you could be in a situation where if you get the ball first, it's 4th and 2, and you might be like, do we kick it? Do we go for it? If you already know you need a touchdown at 4th and 2, no decision, offense just goes for it. So that's the advantage to playing defense first.
So Jake Skelton will now head out to midfield.
What game he's had today.
Yeah. Skelton, the senior from Madison, Ohio. He will represent Capital during this coin flip right here.
Cool move, just sending him out there by himself.
Head referee going over the instructions for overtime. The call is tails for Marietta. Marietta's won the toss.
Last time Capital went to overtime was back in November of 2012. And they lost that game 13-6 to Muskingum.
Marietta won the toss. They will get second position of the ball. They'll start off on defense, which means Capital will get the first crack on offense. Normally when you go to overtime, Jimmy, you like to be that team who has that second chance, who starts off on defense overtime.
It also leads to the interesting decision. Obviously, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but if Marietta needs a touchdown to match, they score the touchdown, then that's interesting. Do you go for 2 in the win or kick it and go for OT or double overtime? That would be. So Marietta's going to be faced with that decision if it comes to that. There's going to be a lot of interesting ways to go about this, but it's very simple right now for Capital. You have the football. You need to score. It's that simple. I wouldn't even think about settling for 3.
I was going to say, first things first, Capital's got to find a way to score.
get in the end zone. I mean, this is only the 5th or 6th drive for each team, which is insane to think of.
1st and 10, Capital at their own 25-yard line. As we begin overtime, Capital and Marietta tied at 21 apiece. Iskey's under center, one wide receiver each side of the field. They give us to Walton. Walton trying to cut it outside, and he'll pick up about 3 or 4 yards on the play as he takes it to about the 22-yard line.
Each team had 8 drives in regulation, Charlie, so each team had the ball on average 2 times a quarter.
Wow.
It's just insane how many long drives we've had in this game, and now there's no clock isn't even a factor. You don't even have to look at it. It doesn't even run, actually, in overtime. It's just simply football right now. Score the football and play defense.
4 words, just run your stuff. 2nd and 7, Capital at the 22-yard line. Iskey will run forward, breaking a tackle inside 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Getting into that interesting territory now. If you don't pick up this first down, it's going to be 4th and short, and you're going to have to decide if you want a field goal and play defense or if you're going to go for it, and then all that Marietta would need if they get stopped is just a field goal.
3rd and 3. Ball spotted at the 18. Iskey, once again, under center, a wide receiver to each side of the field. He'll put Waters in motion. The give is to Walton. Walton will dive forward. Does he have enough? Wait a second. Marietta. I thought Walton fumbled it at first, but it looks like Walton was down.
He was down. That was a good call by the line judge looking right at it. He extended the football for a first down, and then it came out.
But he's going to be a yard short, Jimmy. 4th down and 1.
Oh, man. This is why we don't get paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
Take this call. Look at where the football is, though. He needs to get to the 15-yard line, and I don't know. It's maybe half the length of a football away.
There's no question in my mind. You either do a quarterback sneak with Nick Iskey. Capital will take a timeout here to discuss it. You either do a quarterback sneak with Nick Iskey, who's 6 foot, 195 pounds, or you give it to the bell cow in Brent Walton. I mean,
I would sneak it. There's no way I'm kicking this field goal to begin with because Marietta could easily just come back and score a touchdown. Game's over. So I understand that Marietta would only need a field goal, but they don't have the strongest field goal kicker back there. His long on the season is 23 yards. And really, if you don't score a touchdown, I would assume a loss either way. So I'm going for it. I'm being aggressive. It's the last game of the year. It's senior night. I'm sure the seniors are in the huddle saying, Coach, we're going for this right now.
You
we're getting
can't
this
hold
W.
anything back at this point.
So let's see what they come up with. They tried to get real cute last time and throw a pass, and I don't think so. I think you bang this thing right up the middle, make Marietta better than you up front. And if they are, you tip your cap.
Capital, 4th and 1 at the 16. They need to get to the 15. Iskey under center. Walton is the B-back, a wide receiver to each side of the field. Walton will now change up, Iskey, will change up the play at the line of scrimmage after he tried to go with a hard count. He'll get back under center. Iskey shouting out the cadences. A toss to Waters. Waters has got the edge. To the 10, to the 5, out of bounds around the 5-yard line. Oh, man, a gutsy call by Capital.
Candido loves going wide on these 4th and shorts, and it's worked every time today. Boy, is that gutsy, though. Looks like he stepped out at the 6, 1st and goal.
But the main thing is Capital picks up the first down. Oh, man.
4 plays to get in the end zone now. That's the way I look at this.
1st and goal from the 7. Iskey will go under center once again. A wide receiver to his left and to his right. A man in motion. The give is Walton. Walton will try to cut it upfield to about only inside the 5-yard line, so that'll be a gain of about 2 for Brent Walton.
No player on either side of the field right now wants to score more than Brent Walton does. And I mean, he can want to score all he wants, but if the hole's not there, he's not going to be able to break it. He tried to Superman his way through about 3 tackles there. Got about 3 yards, but I'm giving him the football. This man wants to score. He was so upset when he didn't get the ball in that possession 2 times ago. You got to keep feeding him here.
2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Iskey under center. Toss to Breaky. Breaky into the end zone. Touchdown! Jake Breaky, the senior from Pickerington, Ohio, takes it to the house.
That was so smart. They ran Walton to the left and came around on the edge. To the right was Breaky, and the defense respected Walton too much. Everyone kind of took a step to their right to respect the run for Walton. Breaky comes back the other way on the toss. A great block on the edge, and it's an easy touchdown.
Another important point after for Jack Johns. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is on the way. It is good. So because of a touchdown run by Jake Breaky, one of 7 seniors to be honored here today, Capital has the lead, and now it is Marietta's move here in overtime.
This is fun. We said it'd be a fun game, and it certainly has been, and now it's up to Coach Andy Waddle and see what he can draw up with. And again, he's going to have 4 downs to work with this entire possession, which is a huge advantage for Marietta. They don't need to get a first down in 3 plays. They only need it in 4. I'm certainly they're not going to try to get it in 4 plays, but they do have that luxury of knowing that they just need a touchdown here. And then if they score this touchdown, they're going to have the interesting choice to go for 2 or not.
So they will stay in the south side of the stadium. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Marietta. Havens will fake it, and he is going to be stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. A great push by the Capital defense that time, led by guess who? Derek Ebon.
There's all kinds of momentum for Cap right now. And if I'm Coach Waddle, I might even call a timeout and slow things down. Don't let this game get away from you. It's still 2nd and 11. The crowd is as loud as it's been all day. The players on the sideline, everyone is jumping up and down. No one can sit still right now. And that's not even the players out there on the field itself.
2nd and 11. Marietta at the 26-yard line, trailing Capital by 7, 28-21. Havens in the pistol. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And he will keep it to the 20, diving across the 20 to about the 18-yard line. So a decent pickup on the play right there by Lucas Havens. And a 3rd and short coming up here for Marietta.
We've seen a lot of 3rd and longs, not so many 3rd and shorts. Marietta likes to run on 3rd and longs, so you'd assume they'd run here as well. A little bit of a jumbo package.
Wide receiver to each side of the field. Havens in the pistol, along with Roger Bush. 3rd and 3. Marietta at the 18-yard line. The give is to Bush. Bush will be dropped, and I think he might be a yard short.
Did he run into his own guy there?
I think he might have, actually. He was trying to cut it to his left, and I think he might have hit one of his linemen.
Oh, that's a huge – I think he hit his left tackle and just kind of went to the ground.
Trevor Rick is the left tackle for Marietta.
Oh, boy.
So 4th and 1. Marietta has a timeout here.
I think they're going to end up using it. Maybe not. They've got 16 on the play clock.
15, 14 and counting. Havens will go in the pistol formation. 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Bush is the tailback. 4 seconds on the play clock. Havens gets the snap off, and he will give it to Bush. Bush is stacked up at the line of scrimmage, and now they're going to have to figure out where he's spotted. Still waiting for a signal.
Oh, this is going to come down to a spot.
Capital sideline is waiting to explode, as there was a major scrum after that play. Bush had to get it to the 15-yard line. And Capital is able to make the stop.
Oh, now they're saying go
back
to the
Now they're saying
sideline.
go back to the sidelines because they are going to need to have an official measurement.
Oh, that ball is so close to the 15-yard line, too. Right where they put it down. This is going to be so close. Right now, number 62 for Marietta is blocking it. There it is. You can see the ball is so close to the 15-yard line.
They bring out the chains.
I think this is going to be so close.
They put down the chains, and they are short. Capital wins in overtime by a final of 28-21. A 4th down stop allows the Crusaders to end 2015 on a high note. Your final score, Capital 28, Marietta 21 in overtime. Coming up, we'll have the Crusaders post-game show. We'll wrap things up here at Burnley Stadium as we saw an exciting conclusion to the 2015 football season. You've been listening to the Crusaders here on your home for Capital Football, the Capital Sports Network.
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith College coaches work hard to beat their opponents, but now they're all on the same team to defeat Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called Coach to Cure MD, and you can help. Text the word CURE, C-U-R-E, to 90999 to donate $5 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE to 90999 and help coaches cure MD.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association. Standard messaging rates apply.
Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. For 50 years, I've witnessed some of the greatest contests in college football.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bernlohr Stadium. This is the Crusaders postgame show. A very happy result to report from actually Ohio today. Capital comes away with a 28-21 victory over Marietta in overtime alongside Jimmy Bloomfield. I am Charlie Danis. Jimmy, we were just talking about this during the break. We've seen walk-off home runs. I don't think we've ever seen a walk-off measurement, but that's what we got at the conclusion of this game.
Awesome game. It didn't disappoint at all, and the defense comes up huge. Big-time stop. They've been run on all day. Marietta had almost 300 yards of total offense just on the ground alone, and they come up 4 running plays, and they make the stop and don't even allow a first down in overtime. Offense did their job. We're talking about how this game's virtually over with 2 minutes left after they turned that ball over on downs at the end of that fourth quarter. Defense got a huge stop there. Get the ball back. Offense scores 2 touchdowns, one coming in the first overtime, obviously. And then the defense holds serve and does their job. A really complete finish to this game. Marietta really let this game get away from them. And a huge win on senior night. And a great last game for a lot of these seniors, including Jake Skelton.
So let's now take a look at the stats from this game. Take a look at the total numbers for both teams. First, for Capital, 373 yards of total offense, 253 yards on the ground, 118 yards through the air. Meanwhile, for Marietta, 325 yards of total offense, 290 of which were on the ground, 35 of them were through the air. For Capital, let's start with the quarterback, Nick Iskey, 7-12 through the air for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He also had 19 carries for 69 yards and a rushing score. Brent Walton, 21 carries for 123 yards. Johnny Eaton, 3 carries for 36 yards. Jake Brakey, 2 carries for 10 yards and a very important touchdown. Nick Waters, 1 carry for 9 yards. Wally Brewer, 1 carry for 8 yards. In terms of receiving today, Jake Skelton, the senior, 3 catches for 68 yards. Zach Wyrick, another senior, 2 catches for 8 yards. While Brewer, a 27-yard touchdown reception. And Nick Waters, a 15-yard touchdown reception. That was the score that sent this game into overtime. Meanwhile, for Marietta, Lucas Havens, 4 of 10 through the air for 35 yards. He also had 18 carries for 105 yards on the ground and 1 rushing touchdown. Nick O'Neal, 17 carries for 97 yards. Roger Bush, 20 carries for 88 yards and 2 rushing scores. Nick Heineman, 2 catches for 15 yards. Clay Moorfield, 1 catch for 10 yards, and 1 catch and 10 yards for Hunter Roknich. As Capital gets set to sing the alma mater in front of the fans here at Bernlohr Stadium. A fantastic win for Coach Candido's crew. They are actually singing the fight song right now.
And guess who's leading it? Brent Walton, of course.
Brent Walton has 1 more year left in a Capital uniform. Oh, what a senior at Bernlohr Stadium. It's been a tough year for Capital, but this is the way to end a football season, especially on senior day.
Absolutely, and the senior making the majority of the plays that kept this game alive. Jake Skelton set up 2 big-time touchdowns in regulation, and the senior Jake Brakey scores the game-winning touchdown on his senior day as well. Really a book ending for some of these seniors.
Well, Jamie, before we wrap things up here, first, quickly, go through scores around the OAC one more time. Looks as though Mountain Union will have another undefeated regular season. They lead John Carroll 36-3 as they begin playing the fourth quarter. They're just about to wrap action up at Muskingum. The Muskies leading Wilmington 49-35 over Wilmington. Ohio Northern 42, Otterbein 10, 4:34 left in the fourth quarter in that one. And Baldwin Wallace and Heidelberg are tied at 31 as they begin play in the fourth quarter. By the way, I would be remiss not to think about women's soccer here, Jimmy, and it looks as though Capital came out as winners today.
1-0 into the second round, and they keep going. They're 12 in a row now. They haven't lost since the month of September, and they're just riding this little streak out. Probably going to play Center College, team that's hosting the regional. Center College still yet to play today, and then that game is going to be tomorrow. So keep a heads up for that one. Capital will be back at it tomorrow. Chloe Brown had the deciding goal in today's match, and she's done that quite a bit. A couple 1-0 games earlier this season that Browns had the lone goal. So a quiet day for Becca Cartmill. Maybe she'll get on the scoreboard tomorrow, and we'll see what the women's soccer team can do. A good day for Cap.
Yeah, congratulations
big
to the women's.
Big football win, and the soccer team gets the W as well. Nice 2-0 day.
Just talked about women's soccer. Before I let you go, Jimmy, tell me how big this win is for Capital going forward. And based upon what you've seen here this season with Capital, what does the future hold for the Crusaders?
I saw improvement. I saw a lot of improvement. They were in games for longer than they were last year against some of the other tough teams, the Baldwin Wallaces, the Mount Unions, the John Carrolls of the world. They were in those games for a lot longer than they were when we first broadcasted here 2 years ago. So in terms of seeing, or I guess I should just last season, but looking at that, I've seen a little bit of a step forward. Nick Iskey's progression has been phenomenal. Really, I know it's a two-quarterback system, but I wouldn't be surprised if Iskey kind of just takes over this job next year, give him another offseason in this offense. They started open today with the passing game. If they can add that to this triple option, it's going to be pretty scary to see what this can do offensively. So I'm pretty excited to see what they can do there. And you talked about how these seniors are the kind of the transition group. Well, now they're gone. The seniors are gone. We're going to be turning the page. It's going to be Candido's fourth year, which means it's going to be a full recruiting cycle for him. So the seniors are going to be the first class that he brought in here at Capital. So now it's really you like to see a coach come in and turn things around in 1 or 2 years, but not everybody's Urban Meyer, not everyone's Jim Harbaugh. Like is going to come in and just acquire talents and just destroy like they've been doing. It takes time, and Capital's given Candido time, and now it's his time to kind of shine. He's got his full group of recruits. He's going to be doing some more recruiting next season as well to kind of keep building this program forward. But now it's guys, he doesn't really have any excuses, and he's going to have to start turning the page and getting this team to be even more competitive than they were. Obviously, only 3 wins this season, but I believe they had 2 last year. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, I mean, there is a little bit of improvement in the win column, and it looks like they're going in the right direction. Some teams in the OAC not really going in that same direction, and maybe a year or 2 away still from kind of getting into that top half of the OAC, but obviously it's going well. Candido's system is working. The offense has been putting up numbers, and if they can get some kind of value on defense, I think that's where where they really need to address themselves. The offense has done a phenomenal job. You're going to get Walton back next year. You're going to have Iskey for 2 more years, and looks like Eaton might be a nice replacement for Walton himself. So in terms of where the offense is going forward, I'm really optimistic. The defense is where I think the needs need to be addressed. I don't know what Candido has in terms of the defensive side of the ball and maybe some of the defensive coaching staff as well, but they're going to have to come up with some things that can really change because they're getting up too many big plays. Today they kind of just got gashed on the ground, so that's been a problem as well. I think they're going to go as far as their defense takes them next year. The offense is there.
With the win, Capital improves to 3-7 overall and 3-6 in OAC play. With the loss, Marietta drops at 2-8 overall and 2-7 in OAC play. And partner, just like that, football season is over, and pretty soon we'll be broadcasting basketball games for both the women's and men's teams here for CAP. And in fact, our first basketball broadcast will be Saturday, November 28th. So Thanksgiving weekend. The women's team takes on Whitburg on Saturday at 3 o'clock. And then our first men's basketball fair will be that Sunday.
Yeah, next day, the 29th. So it'll be a nice little Thanksgiving action. We'll have some basketball, one of each, the men's and the women, coming up after the holiday. So that'll be a little bit of fun there.
Mount St. Joseph will be the men's opponent on that Sunday. That game will tip off at 6 p.m. Well, hey, partner, thanks for helping me football season. And I'll see you later this month as we get set for Capital Hoops.
Yeah, I wish we were a little more busy these next few months. November and December, there's only a couple of home games. The men only have 2 home games in December. I believe the women have 4. Most of them coming at the end of the month with that big holiday tournament. And then it's going to get quite busy for us in January and December January and February once we pop into OAC play. So it'll be a lot of fun. We hope you guys join us out there. And if you want to keep track, remember the men, they play today at 5 o'clock themselves, so a couple minutes away from tip there, I guess almost 45 minutes away from tip there. But they're facing off with Wittenberg today. Hopefully they start off their season well, Charlie.
For my broadcast partner, Jimmy Bloomfield, this is Charlie Daniels saying one final time, the final score, Capital 28, Marietta 21 in overtime. Thanks so much for joining us for this 2015 edition of Capital Football here on the Capital Sports Network.